Hey everybody, it is 6 o'clock. It is Friday night, and that means it is time for Dragons and Things. Welcome! That's right, it's another episode of Heroic Endeavors. As you can see, we have a lovely cast here with us tonight. We've got Jamie, Jared, Adam Kahn, Diana Restrepo, and Lamar Harris.
Yay!
It is gonna be an exciting episode with all of these crazy clowns. Maybe I'll finally get to kill one of them. Who knows? Anything could happen because we're gonna play Pathfinder, and it is a wild game. Before we get too deep into it, I just want to point out, as always, that the sounds and the music are being provided by Syrinscape. You can go to Syrinscape.com right now and check out the online player that was recently released this year. Perfect for streaming using the virtual tabletops that we're all used to now that we're in Corona times. So seriously, the Syrinscape online player, super awesome for making your game still sound amazing, even though you can't be together with your players. Also want to give a shout out to Norse Foundry. We can't get those dice cams because we're not in the studio, but when we are back in the studio, we'll be using dice cams, and those dice cams are all thanks to Norse Foundry. We still want to give the shout out to them because they're so cool, they're so awesome. I know, Jared, you actually shared a picture of the Dragons and Things dice that are still available on NorseFoundry.com, along with all kinds of other amazing sets. So seriously, NorseFoundry.com, check them out. They're super great people, and they've been providing a ton of really cool stuff for those of us who are now stuck gaming at home. So make sure that you check it all out. Without further ado, I would like to play some Pathfinder. So let's get going.
Can we play Pathfinder 2, Jim, with you?
Okay, we'll play Pathfinder 2 then, just for you, Adam.
I meant TOO as well.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about the number. Well,
that one too, as well. TOO.
You also can play Pathfinder 2. How about that?
Okay. There it is. Okay.
English is a terrible language.
Oh yeah, this is good entertainment. This is what people tune in for. Rias, you are the first to arrive at the Red Herring. The city is still reeling from the closing of the Dragonfall Festival. It's a day off for you, no open contracts available at HEI, and one of your colleagues invited you to join her for a drink. Soon after you arrive, a few familiar faces file into the tavern, all looking about as if trying to find someone. You spot Pipa and Oopsie, and they see you as well. When you link up, they tell you that they've also received the same invitation that you did. None of the invitations mention this being some kind of work group event, so you're even more shocked when you see Fanrae and Shaka pop out of a curtained room and wave you in. The two heroes appear to have acquired some privacy for your group. It was Fanrae who invited you all to the Red Herring, and now that you're here, she spends her time buying drinks and food, insisting it's all on her family's tab. Her demeanor seems cheery, suspiciously cheery. After a few minutes of this, with a casual smirk and a devil-may-care attitude, she leans over the table and says, I was hoping that since we're all friends, that you'd help me out with a little problem that Mr. Shaka and I are having, something HEI doesn't really need to know about, something off the books, so to speak. What do you do?
We read
Comments!
Hey-o, comment time!
Oh, we have a raid at the same time.
We got a raid!
We're being raided!
Gamer with 5 people.
Thanks for
Thank
the
you.
raid.
Fluffy Walrus 84 says, hi all, sorry I've been gone for a bit. Welcome back, Fluffy Walrus.
Welcome back.
We've missed you.
Nice to see you.
Upon his return, he immediately subscribed. So thank you, Fluffy Walrus, for subscribing.
Lucas Martinez was saying, I think Norse Foundry said something about you being very dark, Jim. Actually, Norse Foundry, the lights are on. He just emits so much darkness you can't tell.
I dampen the light around me in a 5-foot radius at all times. We've got some follows over the last over the last day. We got one from Wronger100 and Tiger Lizzie. So hopefully you guys followed us so you could come see our show today. We also have a sub that happened. Somebody has resubscribed for the 3rd month. It is Vampire 54.
Thank you. Crossbones coming out real strong, calling us all villains.
I agree. They are the villains. It's really I who am the hero.
So I need to share.
at exactly 6 o'clock. Not 6:01, not 5:59. Exactly 6 o'clock. I get like 6 messages from Crag talking about whatever. I was like, Crag, it's 6 o'clock. It's Friday. And he's like, oh crap.
Fire.
We also had a Farash in here for a quick minute too.
Oh yeah, Tobias.
Farash was going,
in
hey,
there.
what's up, everybody?
Hi.
Aw,
I think he went to
we
bed
miss
already.
our Tobias.
Yes, he went.
Daniel Lands is saying, this is one of the very few moments I'm not 100% happy about living in Europe. I assume about the time of day that you're watching this, but you're awake and watching.
That's the important thing.
It's true.
Because it's really good.
We've got cheers from Luna Steel Song and Crag Son of Horus making up for the lost time, I see. Both cheering us on. And then we've also got, this is a good one, Crossbones AE knows exactly where to put the money. That's $12 for 2 sinks for old Evil Jim Jams. Time to start the killing right away, he says.
Wow.
Right away. Thank you,
Crossbones is the GM supporter of the channel.
I'll do my best.
Really,
and hi,
really
Crossbones.
is.
It's good to be back.
All right, so you are all in the tavern. Fanrae and Shaka appear to have set this whole thing up, and I'll leave it to them for a moment to explain what's going on.
Well, like I said, this one would be off the books, just a favor for friends.
Yeah. Just between all 5 of us, just little job between the 5 of us. Just real quick, no need to let others know about what we're going to ask you to do between the 5 of us. Yes.
So you're trying to say you want it to be secretive, yes?
Yes, preferably. That is what we would like.
Secrets are fun. You make friends that way.
So, a secret mission?
Yes, a very important secret mission, in fact.
I'll reach underneath my armpit and find like the tiniest little flower that has a speck of deep purple, and I go, here's my signature. And I hand it to Fanrae and go, that's what a secret is.
Well,
Armpit flowers.
yes. Signature. Beep us in. What about you two?
Oopsie, help friends. Oopsie, do it.
Oh yes, secrets are always fun.
All right. Well, Shaka and I need your help. We are going into the Sarota Forest to rescue a few men. That's it. That's the mission.
Simple. It could be nothing more than that. Just go to the forest, help a few people who need helping, like heroes.
Curious, what men might they be?
It doesn't really matter, but if you insist, they were a team sent into the forest.
We went into the forest one time.
Yes, exactly. They are not the first, nor will they be the last sent into the forest. We just need to go save them.
Okay.
They're just missing.
Yes, the forest is dangerous, and not all adventurers are ready to go into the forest. And it seems as if these were not ready to go into the forest, so they sent for help. And here we are, about to help them.
When do we go?
As soon as possible.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yes, I don't have anything else with me. I came for a drink. But if we're already going to leave, might we have a drink before we actually leave?
Absolutely. Everything will be on my family's account.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, Fanrae.
You're more than welcome.
Does that also include, food?
Of course.
Oh, excellent. I'm starving. I didn't have breakfast this morning. Everyone knows you must have breakfast. I always heard adventurers of old would always have their breakfasts. Yes, in the mornings.
Pickle?
Oh, yes, the pickle. Actually, I will be fine with just a pickle if you want to leave now. Thank you. Oops.
Yes.
Well, if you're all ready, we can get started. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, let's go.
Yes.
This
Lead
way.
the way. Oh,
Yes,
perfect.
because Forrest, it's me.
Take the wagon?
It's you.
Jim, will we need a wagon? No, we can. It's walk.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Oh no. Oh, we can walk.
Oopsie, good driver now.
Oh,
Drove
good.
Boat, can drive horse. Good driver.
You've definitely got new talents since the last time I've seen you, my friend. Cool. But unfortunately, no horse, no boat. Walk through forest. Forest kind of bumpy. Got a lot of trees. Things get caught up in trees or lost. Like adventurers. Let's go. We go. We go now.
You can see that Fanrae and Shaka seem incredibly eager to leave, and even as you're asking for like food and stuff, they're having food brought so that you can take it to go. Like you get it all, like, you know, sandwiches, and you get a drink, and Fanrae
cup.
like throws extra coins so that you can just take the cup and leave. They seem very, very eager to move very quickly, but also seem very eager to assure you that you can have whatever you want as long as you keep going. So before too long, you find yourselves sort of unceremoniously shoved out of the tavern doors by an eager Fanrae and Shaka, who then lead you through the streets outside the city, where you approach the edge of the sort of forest, which you are all very familiar with. Indeed, having all traveled together through it on your very first mission for HEI, helping out House Ovisario and their son, who was set on his to become a man in his first hunt. You're obviously very familiar with the Sorota Forest from that experience, and it is at the very place that you completed, since you had completed your first contract there. As Fanrae and Shaka sort of take the lead and begin taking you through the narrow trails of the wood, you begin to recognize a lot of the areas that they are taking you through quite clearly, as if they are retracing the very routes you took on your boar hunt not but a few weeks ago. Anybody who would like could make a survival or nature check.
I'll do a survival check.
Mm-hmm.
Do nature? Nope, don't know anything.
You guys,
I'll try it.
this is the first roll
Bible.
from the new Norse Foundry DaT dice, and it's a nat 20.
Nice.
Yes!
The first roll, guys.
I have a 25.
25. Okay. Well, Fanrae and Shaka, you guys already sort of know exactly where you're going. But oopsie, you notice that even though they are taking a few paths that are a little different from your first foray into the forest, you guess pretty quickly that they are leading you to an old standing stone column that you recall from your very first foray into the forest. And you recall that stone column was the one where you had found the star map at the top of it, that led you sort of on a little bit of a side trek from the boar hunt at the request of your client. And as you start to realize this, and as you're getting closer and closer to this very point, you all begin to hear music coming through the trees that sounds exactly like lively fiddling. You find this to be quite odd, considering the message, or Fanrae and Shaka, you especially seem to think this is quite odd because the message you received, the signal you received, was one to come and rescue. But it sounds to you like there might be a party going on ahead of you. What do you do?
Fanrae puts her finger to her lips and tells everybody to keep it quiet, and she's going to attempt to stealth a little forward to see what's happening.
Okay, make me a stealth check as you begin to move forward.
Ooh, that is a 24.
24. Pretty easily you slip through the trees like a liquid shadow. The sound of music is getting louder and louder as you come within sight of the tall menhir where you discovered on your very first trip into the woods, the very place that you happen to know that the people you're set out to rescue had made their camp. You indeed see five tents arranged around a stone fire circle, and much of the brush has been cleared in this area to make room for this small camp. The only person that you see, however, is a man standing at the very top of this stone column at the center of the camp, and he appears to be dancing wildly in time to the lively music that you hear, though you don't see the source of this sound. What do you do?
I'd like to point it out to Khan if he's up near me, and get his take on the situation.
The question is, did Khan follow you?
Khan did follow quietly after telling the rest.
Cool. Can you also make a stealth check?
Yes, I can, and that's not too bad. That's 18 on the die plus 2, dirty 20.
Nice, yeah. So it's not quite as graceful as Fanrae, but you do make your way along the forest stealthily, and soon you also see this. You guys are both now looking at this camp. You see this man is just dancing precariously at the top of this stone column. You recognize this man. It is a surveyor named Davius. He is one of the people who was out scouting the forest. He doesn't appear to have noticed you. The music just keeps going and he keeps dancing, but you can tell even just from watching him for a few seconds that he's like red-faced. He's clearly getting tired, and like his shoulders are drooping. What do you do?
Can we identify where the music is coming from?
Make a perception check.
I will also do that.
Up the path, Jim. Oopsie is trying to be quiet, but the music's starting to get him.
He's starting to bop a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Are you
Violent
moving
slaps,
anywhere,
Jim.
Oopsie, or are you just staying in place, kind of doing that?
No one said to go anywhere, so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Pipa and Rias, you see that Oopsie is starting to bop a little bit in time to the music. It's very, very catchy. It's surprisingly catchy. It almost makes you want to dance a little bit.
Yeah,
That
my tail will
perception.
just start.
Oh no.
What
That
was that, Fanrae?
perception is 11.
11. Yeah, you can't tell. It's loud. It's definitely coming from like somewhere very nearby, but you can't quite tell exactly where, and you don't see
17?
any source. Khan Shaka, you can tell that this is coming from across the camp. Like maybe there's a whole bunch of brush and undergrowth across the camp that hadn't been cleared away, and maybe it's coming from that direction, but you still see no source.
It's over there, but I don't know what's over there. But he does not look okay.
Fanrae will slip back to the rest of the group and try to guide them forward and show them what's happening. And she looks at Pipa and is like, is there anything you can do to stop whatever music is happening or counteract it?
The most important question is that if each of you are being led through the forest, then I would need you, if you're going to move up, I'll need a stealth check from each of you as well. We can carry Fanrae's over because she's traced a path and she's made a very stealthy approach. But the rest of you, if you're moving up, got to make them checks.
15.
15, okay, not
Still
terrible.
bobbing.
The armor is a little tough to move in.
Is anyone affected as much as Oopsie is?
No, Oopsie seems to be just having a good time. He's just popping to the music because it's fun.
13.
13, okay.
14.
14, okay.
Sorry, go on.
You get everybody up to where Khan Shaka is still watching this happen, and it's Pipa who sort of steps into a pile of leaves. Like you see her, like you catch her just as she's about to do it, and she's like a kid who's standing before a puddle, and you know they're gonna splash through it, but she just sees this pile of leaves, and you try to like stop her, but and she kind of half stops because she sees but she still kicks a couple of them, and she makes a little noise. And now the man who is now dancing atop this stone column, he's like, "Help! Wait, is somebody there? I can't. Help! I can't. I can't. And he doesn't even appear to be able to get a full sentence out as his breathing is labored and his face is just beet red and he's drenched with sweat. You can tell that he is seconds away from falling, but he won't stop dancing. And at this point, his fall is so imminent that I would like to roll initiative.
Oh,
Damn
boy.
it.
Already?
Everybody, because you were stealthing up, you can roll stealth for your initiative if you are not currently detected. Peepa, you're the only one who can't because you were detected on your way up.
That's fine. I'll just
Um,
blend in with my surroundings.
where is my initiative? That's
Can I
the
use-
thing that
It's perception, Lamar.
Oh,
Unless you want to use stealth because you rolled stealth to move up and you're undetected.
that's not Khan's way.
21.
21 for Rias.
We are actually at a roll off because I'm also 21.
What bonus did you add, Lamar?
A perception.
But what's the number that you added?
7.
7. And what did you add, Rias?
4.
Okay, so Lamar, you're actually going to go first because you got a bigger bonus.
On a 12, Jim. Oopsies on a
12. You're too busy dancing. You got the music in you, man. Oopsie. What about Peepa?
24.
Ooh, Peepa. Peepa is ready. Peepa's always ready. I feel like your initiatives are always good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Fanrae.
15.
15 for Fanrae. Peepa, you can see that this guy is going to fall, like, soon. He can't keep this up. He won't stop, but he cannot keep... He's like, up on this stone, and he's just so tired, and he's clearly just going to keel over any moment. And you realize that if you're going to do something to help him, you have to do it soon. So what do you do?
Okay, can I, jeez. If I were to charm him and it succeeds, could I get him to stop dancing?
Make an Arcana check.
No, 9.
9. You would guess that maybe it's possible if you charm him that he would be more willing to listen to you. And if you asked him to stop and he was more willing to listen to you, then maybe he would stop.
No, I'm not going to do that. Let me detect magic. I'm going to detect magic where I think I hear the fiddle music is coming from.
Okie dokie. Oh, I dropped my dice. No.
Quick cheat now, guys.
You cast detect magic, and you do indeed detect the presence of magic.
Is there a certain area or is it just like all?
The spell allows you to detect the presence or absence. It doesn't really let you determine anything else about it right now. So, but there is magic here.
Okay, I would say, someone is using magic. Hurry, find the person. And that's my turn.
Okay, so Peepa says there's magic happening. Somebody's got to stop it, and then Khan Shaka, you are next to react. What do you do?
I really wish instructions wasn't given. Khan Shaka is going to bolt towards where the magic's coming from, since he has...
Okay. You bolt across the camp with a single move, and then you are standing basically close to this shrubbery and thick growth. And if you don't see anything, but you can take a seek action if you would like to try to find somebody.
Yes,
something.
I would like to do that. That is a perception check?
That would be perception, yep.
That would be a 19, Jim.
19. You're looking around, trying to find the source of this fiddling. It's very loud now. You know that it's somewhere nearby. And you spot this rock. And this rock has 2 bugs on it, at least what you at first thought were bugs, about the size of your hand. But they have the torso of men. And on their back are gossamer wings. They're almost like like grasshopper centaur type creatures.
Oh.
And one of them is rubbing its two legs together, and you can tell like that's what's creating the music. And when you spot them, one of them bows very low to you, and he has this mischievous grin on his face, and you get the sense that this is about to get real wild. You do have one more action left.
Do I have like a cup in my adventurer's kit?
We did get to-go cups from the red herring.
You
Just
did
saying.
get a to-go cup for your ale, so I guess you've got a cup. Canonically,
You said it,
you have a
Jim.
cup.
Can I just drop it over them? Is that
Are you meant like a bug?
he's
if
a
it's
little.
not that hand, I just sound like a cup could.
I mean, he's almost too big for that, but you know what? It's fun. Go ahead and make an attack roll. This is an improvised weapon, so you'll take a -2 penalty as you try to trap this bug in a cup. There's one that's very clearly actively like fiddling and making music, and the other one is just kind of laughing at you, but then sees this cup coming down. Which one are you going for?
The music, because that's
The music one. Okay, so you try to slam this cup down over it.
That's a 17 on the die with my -2. That's gonna be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is going to do it. This cup clunk right over the fiddling creature. And now you can still hear the sound, but it's muffled. And that is all three of your actions. It is Rias's turn.
Before I jump into my turn, Jim, we've got a whole bunch more donations
we do.
that we got.
Whoa, yeah, things are
I'm in
getting
for
wild
life
over
dropping
here.
50. Jim, have mercy on the table. Mercy for each player.
Yeah.
Wall Stone Rage coming in with a $21. Edge for Peepa, Rias, and Oopsie, and a sink for Jim Jam.
All right.
Yeah.
McCranky Stank dropping 25. Not this time, Jim Jam. 4 edges for Rias. Thanks, bud.
Wow.
Jira for repping the lizard folk strong, and 1 for the Pickle Man.
The pick.
We also got I'm in for life, giving a BBBB to Peepa, Scott Demuso giving a BBB to Oopsie.
Whoopsie. Yay. Thank you, guys.
And some cheers from I'm in for life, Scott Demuso, Sarah BC1, and a sub from Sarah BC1 hitting 24 months.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's
Thanks,
awesome.
guys.
Awesome!
Thank you.
So much crazy madness. Okay. So this guy that's dancing, he's on top of you said he's on top of a rock?
Yeah, he's basically there's this tall stone column, and he is on top of it, and he has stopped dancing at this point. You look like he's slowing down now that the music is sort of muffled and you can't hear it as loudly. He's starting to slow down, but he looks so tired he might just keel over anyway.
Okay. About how tall is this pillar?
Maybe 15 feet. It's a very tall pillar.
Okay. I want to. I'm gonna look up at him and be like, "Listen, jump! I shall catch you." Right
bold.
here.
Are
And
you
I
moving
wanna-
over to the pillar?
Yeah, I'm gonna move over to the pillar and I'm gonna
Okay.
put my hands out and tell him to dance or fall, and I'm gonna catch him.
Sure. Make a diplomacy check to see if he'll listen to you.
I'm good at diplomacy. It's gonna be a 17.
17. Okay, yeah, sure. Like, he almost looks like it doesn't matter whether he jumps or not. He might just fall over the side of it. But he looks down at you and he just nods. You can see he's just dead tired. You have no idea how long he's been up there doing this. Do you have anything else you want to do? That was basically 2 actions. Do you have a third action you want to take?
Can I do a quick perception check to see if I can see what's happening with Kanshaka?
Sure. Make a perception check.
It's gonna be a 10.
10. Yeah, you can't really see the way you're more focused on this guy and trying to make sure that if he does fall or jump, you're ready to catch him. So you don't quite see what Kanshaka's doing, but you can see he's struggling with something.
Okay. I'll go ahead. Cool. So I'll walk over, tell the guy to jump, look over at Kanshaka, and can't tell what he's doing. So I'm actually gonna. Is he about 30 feet away from me? Is he close enough?
He's about 20 feet away from where you are
About
right
20
now.
feet. I'm gonna cast guidance on him.
Well, the seek action that you took would have been your third action, so you don't have
right,
another action
right.
to cast guidance at this point.
Then I
But
won't cast guidance on you. I'll think about it.
you'll be like, I wish I had more time to cast guidance. Oh no. But it is now my turn. The creature, the weird grasshopper centaur fairy thing, does not like at all that you have entrapped his friend. So the first thing that he is going to do is he rubs his two back legs together, but like violently. And this blast of sound comes waving out of you can almost like see the ripples in the air from the shockwave. And he is actually going to make an attack against you, Kanshaka.
But why?
And that is a 23 to hit.
Ooh. As a level 1 character, I'm not telling you if you hit me or not.
Oh, don't be like that,
I
Lamar.
refuse. Yes,
However, you only take 1 point of sonic damage as the sound wave just like blasts you in the face. But then he sort of like puts his hands up to his nose and wiggles his fingers, and then this mass of glitter comes spewing out of his mouth and bursts all around you, and I need you to make a reflex save.
Reflex.
Glitter spitting cricket centaur.
Reflex. I'm not the best at that. 7.
Seven.
You can do it, Jim?
Seven's not going to do it.
No?
7 is in fact a critical failure.
Oh no!
You are blind. The rest of you
no.
see this burst of glitter all around Kanshaka, and he's just like coated in it, and this bright burst of light, and then he's looking around, and like you are blind, Mr. Shaka. Blind, and now it is Fanrae's turn.
Jim, just for future, sorry, not to interrupt, would my counter performance would have worked on that? I'm trying to figure out how counter performance works.
I believe counter performance would have worked on that.
Uh,
Yes.
Is
It
it
would
a
have.
visual or
yeah, I think it says auditory and
Yeah.
visual.
Yep, that would have
Okay,
have
well-
worked.
I will do it if you do it again on someone since it's a reaction.
It's a reaction.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
reaction.
wow.
Cool. I will keep that in mind.
Yes, so let me know.
It is Fanrae's turn currently.
I assume Fanrae hears the screaming from Kanshaka as
Oh yeah,
he just
he is just
Role-played so
covered
well.
in a rainbow of glitter. Like
Pretty.
it looks like every movement that he makes now, like just glitter is just falling off of him. It's gonna
Oh,
be
that's the worst.
it's gonna be months before that comes out of his robes.
oof. Fanrae's going to run over to him, and I obviously would see, well, not obviously, would I see these two cricket guys now?
Yeah, you would now. They've made themselves pretty obvious. They're both just on this mossy rock. It looks like Kanshaka's holding a mug over one of them, and it's trying to like wriggle its way free, but it hasn't
Okay.
been its turn yet, so it can't yet. But
I don't remember, in PF2, can you draw as you move?
I don't believe you can.
Darn.
I think that it would be a separate action.
Okay, well, that's okay. I'll draw my rapier and
Okay.
attempt to kill the other guy that's violently rubbing his legs together.
Kill the other guy. All right, so you draw the rapier, and you can make one. So move, and then draw, and then attack. Go ahead.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is a hit.
Yes.
Alrighty then.
You were it.
I'm gonna try. Well, 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage. He comes stabbing down at this creature, and its little grasshopper carapace is surprisingly tough. And you score a weak hit. And he looks at you. He says, "Ah, hey there, piss off now. What did I ever do to you?" And it is the other creature's turn. It is struggling to get free from the cup. It's trying to like lift the edge of the cup so it could scoot out of it. So it is going to make a check to scoot free.
Free.
Does a 12 beat? So your athletics. What is your what do you add to athletics, Lamar?
+5.
+5. Okay, so I have a 12 that does not beat your athletics DC, which would be 15. So it's 10 plus your athletics bonus. So he tries to struggle free, can't do it. So instead, he does something else that you don't know because he's under a cup.
Rude.
And I'm blind.
And you're blind. You don't know because you're blind and he's under a cup. But nobody else knows because he's under a cup. That takes us to Oopsie's turn. The music that you've been dancing to has sort of stopped. What do you do?
How high up is this pillar?
About 15 feet.
Gonna waste a item on this gym. Oopsie reaches up to his necklace, pulls free a little token, a little feather token, tosses it at the base of the pillar, and it turns into a 20-foot tall ladder.
Oh!
Wow.
Oopsie goes and just scrambles up to the top, and if I have enough action, I want to anchor him so he doesn't fall off before we
Sure. I like it. You throw the activating is for one action, and then you move over, and then you begin climbing up. You would get about halfway up the ladder, I would assume. Or,
Okay.
Oh, you have full movement, right? It's 35 feet of movement or 30 feet of movement.
I have 30 feet. Sounds correct.
Yeah. You can get up to the top of the ladder. This guy who is about to fall over and try to fall over into Rias's arms. You sort of grab him and steady him, and he's like, oh, thank you so much. Oh God, I couldn't stop. And it is in fact his turn, and he will begin climbing down the ladder. Easy enough to do now that he has that available to him. Oopsie, you may have saved this guy's life. You get to the bottom of the ladder and nearly collapses next to Rias. So we go to the top of round 2 with Peepa.
Is there any pebbles, rocks, anything near me? that I
Sure,
can
lots of
use
pebbles
to
and rocks.
throw? Okay, may I use my telekinetic projectile and pick up one of the rocks and launch it at the
Sure,
the
I'm
one
gonna
that's
say
out?
that Fanrae and Khan Shaka are in your way, which is going to give your target cover, but it is not impossible to hit them by
Okay,
any
I will
means.
try.
Okay,
And then I add my
spell attack bonus.
roll. 6 plus 7.
13's not going to do it. Your rock, this thing is really tiny and hard to hit from far away, so this rock just goes boom, and right over this little creature's head.
With my last action, I'm gonna inspire courage. So +1 to
Inspiring
attacks,
courage.
damage,
Yay!
and saves.
Everybody's getting that little bonus. Khan Shaka, you are blind.
What does this mean?
Well, you can spend an action to keep your grapple, which is the cup. But because you are blind, you have to make a DC 10 flat check to target anything. So even though you've got your cup over this thing, I assume you reel back from the blast and now you want to hold it over there. You got to make a DC 10 flat check or you screw it up because you cannot see.
All right, I'm going to just try to hold it down. Flat check, rolled 17.
Okay, so you can now make an athletics check to keep a hold of this creature under the cup. So now you need to make an athletics check.
14 on the die, plus 5, 19.
19, that's going to do it. You managed to hold fast. So that was one action just to maintain that. You have 2 actions left. You are still blind. What do you do?
I will use a move action to lower my body on top of the cup.
Okay.
So I just adding a bit more weight to it, and then rub my eyes.
Okay. At the end of your turn, your vision begins to return. You are no longer blind, but you are dazzled. Now the DC, the flat check to target any creature with any action is 5. So it goes from DC 10 to DC 5 when you are dazzled. But you can now see at least a little bit. Your vision's still blurry and wavery. There's spots all over, but you can at least see.
I got one that makes the music under my tummy.
Rias, you see that there's no need for you to catch anybody now. The man has been saved thanks to Oopsie's quick thinking. What do you do?
Can I do a medicine check on him?
Sure. Go ahead.
It's gonna be a 12.
12. I mean, he looks exhausted. He was clearly pushing himself beyond the limits of his own endurance. And he doesn't, like, this guy's not an adventurer. He's not like you guys. The fall could very well have been deadly for someone like him.
Sure.
So it's a good thing that you managed to save him. But he is otherwise unhurt. He doesn't look harmed on the other way. Just dead, exhausted, tired.
Okay, cool. I will cast. So medicine check on him. I'll try guidance again over on. I'll stick out my finger and do guidance over on Kanshaka.
Okay.
Giving
What's
him
guidance?
a +1 to attack, roll, perception check, saving throw, or skill check.
Sure.
By end of next turn, and then as my third action, can I pull off my water skin and give this guy some water?
Sure. Absolutely.
Aw,
Absolutely.
So nice.
Taking care of the needy. After all three of your actions, I get 3 actions. The creature that has yet to be trapped takes this huge, mighty leap up into a nearby tree in one big leap. And he's looking down and he sees Kanshaka still has his friend trapped, but he did get stabbed. He doesn't seem to know what he wants to do. So he is going to begin a song of his own.
But I have my counter spell.
And you have a reaction that will allow you to do that. So tell me about that. How does it work? I've never in Pathfinder 1E or 2E used counter song.
Okay,
Ever.
I will read it for you. Somatic or verbal, trigger you or an ally within 60 feet rolls a saving throw against an auditory or visual effect.
Mm-hmm.
You and roll a performance check for a type you know, an auditory performance if the trigger was auditory or visual one. You and allies in the area can use the better result between your performance check and the saving throw.
Oh, very nice. So both Kanshaka and Fanrae need to make a will save, but you, Peepa, get to make a performance check that they can use instead if it's better.
John really likes bears.
I am going to sync both Fanrae and Kanshaka.
17.
Ooh.
Oh, is that what you want to do? Is that
do.
what you want to do? Well, it
I have
still makes
24.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
You had what?
24.
Oh, geez. Okay.
I had
My
a
heart.
6.
Mine was an
Oh.
18 with the sync, so.
Well, those are
Sorry,
all.
Jim.
So if you're substituting hers, then that is both of you succeed and nothing happens, which seems to very clearly frustrate this little tiny creature, who then strums his legs angrily together and blasts Kanshaka with a sound wave. He's like, "Get off my friend, you big fat bear thing!" And that is a 22 to hit you, so you are going to take 8 points of sonic damage this time as he just blasts you right in the back of the head. Shockwave of sound.
Jim!
You do have a mercy if you want to use that.
Do I have a mercy?
You do have a mercy.
We all got one.
Yeah,
It'll take
mercy,
one,
bro.
It'll take one off.
Mercy.
But
Okay.
How that works.
recently, Crossbones A did donate for a mercy and an edge for Jim. So, just be aware of that, guys.
Very nice.
That's
So
fine.
And Sarah BC1 giving a BBBB to Fanrae.
Yay!
Nice.
Thank you, Sarah.
nice.
Thank you.
So Mr. Shaka, you only will take 7 points of damage.
Oh, is that what that
after
does?
using your mercy?
Yeah.
Yes, it reduces the damage by your level.
Can we be level 7?
Nope.
16 minus 7. Khan's not happy.
It is Fanray's turn next. This creature has leapt up into this tree. It's still within reach, but it has leapt away from you at the very least. And the terrain between you and it is difficult terrain.
Ooh. Fanrae is going to draw out a dagger and hold it to throw.
Okay.
Depending on what this thing says. By the way, do I know what this thing is?
Do you have nature?
Oh.
Do I need to be trained in it?
I believe you can make a check regardless of whether you're
Okay.
trained.
Then yeah, I'll try a nature check. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not very good. That's a 3.
You have no idea. It is a weird looking little like human grasshopper fairy hybrid thing, and it's obviously mean.
Then Fanrae just yells up at it. Stop whatever you're doing. You didn't want to be attacked. You don't want your partner to be attacked. I don't want my friend in danger. So stop it. Or this comes for your head.
Yes.
Do you want to try an intimidation check?
You sure? Okay. Okay, that's okay. That's a 24.
Oh, yeah, you can
Nice.
see that this creature is quite shaken by what's transpired. Perhaps your words struck a chord with it, and he is shaken. He is frightened one. That was one action to draw the dagger, one action to demoralize your opponent. Do you have anything else you want
And
to try to do?
then does my nature check count?
Oh yeah, that's right. Recalling nature is so that's a third action.
Yeah.
It is now the creature that is under the cup, and it is going to try something. It strum you, Khan Shaka. You feel this like from under you because you're laying on this cup, and you can hear the cup begin to shatter as it tries to, from within, shatter the cup with the sound waves that it can make. And the cup is like cracking and crumbling. It doesn't quite get shattered this round, but you can tell. Actually, you know what? I've got 3 actions. I'll try it again.
Wow.
Can't wait to fall on it.
Yeah, I know, right? It's going to be fun times. But its second attempt is not very good, and it can't quite pull it off. So it'll try for a third attack action, and it just can't. The first one did a really good number on this cup, but the subsequent blasts don't seem to be very effective.
Well, Jim,
That
you could use your BBBB from Crossbones and try it for a 4th time with more negatives on it.
That would allow me for a reroll. BBBBs are the classic rerolls in this one. I mean, Ben has his weird extra action thing.
That's what I meant. Your reroll.
That's a Ben thing. But I am thankful that Crossbones gave me the old extra reroll, because I will definitely be using that to great effect soon, I'm sure. After its turn, it is Oopsie's turn. Oopsie, you have saved the life of this surveyor. You see that he's safe on the ground, and Rhea seems to be taking care of him. But your friends are still having some trouble. What do you do?
How far away from? I'm still up top of the thing.
Okay, yeah.
How far away is the branch that the thing went to?
It's about 20 feet into the brush. And because so basically on the limb, in terms of, just so you're aware, for targeting purposes, from your angle to it, I would say it probably has a lot of leafy cover, and you'd need to pass a DC 5 flat check to pinpoint it.
Well, I'm thinking more of, I have a 20-foot ladder next to me. Can I just like pivot and swing it into the brush and across the ladder?
You want to use the ladder as a
Yes.
Oopsie doesn't think about his actions.
Yeah, I don't think it has. I don't know that it has enough, because it's 20 feet into the brush, and you're not even. Yeah, you don't really have the distance on the ladder for that.
How hard of a jump would it be?
Nearly impossible. Almost certainly impossible.
But the key word is almost.
You would have to, because again, there's some distance between you and Fanrae, and then from Fanrae, there's another 20 feet into the brush where this thing is up on a branch.
Okay, action 1, I scramble down the ladder.
You're down the ladder.
I pick up the ladder and move as close to it as I can get, and I place the ladder, and I scramble up the ladder again.
So you would be able to, at the end of your round, so picking up the ladder is, so scramble down, 1 action, pick up the ladder, action 2, rush over to Fanrae, action 3, next turn, you can begin making your way into the brush to get to this creature. And that will take us to the old man's turn, or the man's turn, but he's fine. He wants nothing to do. Like he's just being safe. So we go to the top of round 3 with Peepa in the mix.
Let me try throwing another rock.
Throw in rocks. Now again, because this creature is up in a tree from where you are, it's difficult to see, so you would need to make a DC 5 flat check to avoid the leaf cover.
Okay, let's see. 8 plus 7. 8, 16,
Again, this is a flat check for the first one. So you got what on the die?
Oh, no, I had 8 on the die.
Okay, then that passes the flat check. So you spot it and you just whip this rock out. So now you make an attack roll,
Okay, sorry.
Nice.
Okay.
which I will sink, of course.
Yeah, it's okay. You can sink it because then it turns to a 3 and then plus 7, so it doesn't hit.
No, Rocco's just sailing.
Peepa's just gonna keep playing the harp and just kind of smile and go,
Peepa,
I'm trying. What?
you
Yes.
do have a reroll.
I'm gonna wait.
You're
Just in
gonna
case.
wait.
Thank you.
Shaka, what are you doing?
So I'm inspiring courage again, so everyone remember that. Blech.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep, +1.
To attack.
Yeah, damage.
Shaka is going to take his first action to rub the rest of his eyes to get the days out.
Well, the dazzled, yeah. So the blinded was it had nothing to do with you rubbing your eyes, and more that it was a 1-turn duration. So you're still dazzled. You're rubbing your eyes. You can't blink away the spots. You critically failed that save. So
Okay,
it's
that's
bad.
fair. That's fair. Shaka is then going to try to maneuver so he can reach under the cup and grab the person.
Okay. Go ahead and make me another DC 5 flat check first, because you're dazzled.
12 on the die.
12 on the die passes, so now you need to make an athletics check to reach under and grab onto this thing.
That is dirty 20.
Dirty 20, that's a success. You managed to grab onto this thing right under the cup, and you've got it in your hands, and it's like struggling and moving, but you have it grappled. And that was one action.
Technically one
So
action.
You've got
My
2 actions
second
left.
action, I'm going to produce flame in my other hand.
Oh, you have a track record with tiny creatures. Technically, as part of casting Produce Flame, I believe you can make an attack. So if you wanted to make the attack with Produce Flame, you can do that.
No, I just want to bring it real uncomfortably close.
Okay, so you've just got it. And
And then my last action, I'm going to try to intimidate. It says, "Tell us who you are and what you're doing here, or I'm setting this aflame."
yikes, it is Rias's turn.
All right. I want to look to see if I can see the thing in the trees. So flat check
Sure,
5,
make
right?
a seek check.
I'm gonna add an edge to be safe.
Noise.
Can I add one more edge to make it a 5, Jim?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so I add
You got
2
all
edges
your
to make it a
edges.
5 so I can see it. And then Rias takes both of his fingers and he just shouts, "Forbiddance!" And this blue string of light comes out of both of his pointer fingers, and one hits the creature in the tree. The other one's gonna hit Fanrae, and I'm casting Forbidding Ward. So Fanrae, you get a +1 bonus to your armor class and saving throw against that target enemy's attacks, spells, and other effects.
Well, thank you very much.
Yikes.
Does mine stack up on top of his?
Yeah, I believe both of those bonuses
Okay.
would stack. They're 2 separate spells, so sure, I don't see why
you.
not. Oof, that is bad news
That's
for me,
awesome.
and it's my turn. I'm shaken. You guys have my companion all bound up and about to be tortured.
Well,
You see this creature like up in the tree, and he's bouncing around. You can tell he's very, very nervous. And he says, "Oh, just hold on a minute. You don't have to be so mean about it, you big lugs. Come on now. We was only having a bit of fun, right?" It doesn't do anything else. He says, "We were just having fun. I don't see what this has to be. Oh, I hate all of you people coming in the forest and acting so mean when all we're trying to do is have a party, right? We were just having fun. Look at you."
party, you almost killed this man.
Oh, that's not quite right. He was having a lot of fun. Didn't you see how he was screaming and carrying on? Dancing like there was no tomorrow.
Screaming because he was about to fall down.
That's
making
not
him dance
true.
so much.
A ladder grew right up out of the ground. He would have been fine.
It only happened because of our compatriot up in the wanting to get up in the tree to you, made that ladder.
No, I don't think that's right. That doesn't sound right at all to me. Come on, let my friend go. Silili, are you okay? At which point the creature that is in your hands says, Silili. And the creature up in the tree says, oh no, you got him all scared. Oh no, you gotta let him go. You're just being cruel now. And with that, we will take a break to chat with our fans for just a moment.
Wow.
Jim, this will teach you to stop putting small creatures within arm distance.
You do have a very effective way of dealing with them, apparently.
Burn them all.
A couple of comments I really liked. Imp in my head was telling Oopsie to use the ladder to pole vault, and Scott Denuzzo encouraged it, saying, "Do it! Forward jumping roll."
See, that would have been
Forward
that probably
jumping
would've been
roll.
funny.
Team
For
forward
the fun
jump
of it.
Except that it's the equivalent of a toddler holding a very long stick, because I'm only 2.5 feet
I
tall.
like it.
Like,
Crossbones AE with some really sound advice. Hey, Diana, just hold your action and let Jim kill you. Stop postponing the inevitable.
Stop being a jerk.
Batman Zero saying, glitter is like the herpes in the arts and crafts world. Once you got it, you can't get rid of it.
That's gonna stick with you forever.
I love
For
glitter.
4 months, Kanshaka.
Like 2-sentence story. Ben had somebody glitter bomb our luggage in a hotel, or somebody glitter bombed Ben's luggage in a hotel once, one of our friends, and I just found a piece of glitter, and that was like 3 years ago. So glitter sucks.
Fantastic.
I'm into my head brings up a good question, Jim. Pickle token?
Pickle token. I don't know what that means,
Can I have a pickle
but
token?
yes.
Obviously, when you use it, you get a +1 pickle, right?
Plus one pickle.
+1 pickle. +1 to your pickle.
It just says
Into my-
pickle token over and over. A pickle token! Token pickle!
Imp in my head says, Jim acting like they're being so cruel. Meanwhile, Shaka is bleeding from the ears. That's Jim.
Oh, that's sad.
It's Lucas Martinez is reminding me that Khan, Shaka, I love all animals. Now let me burn you. Khan Shaka does not love all animals. Khan Shaka loves
Just the
bears.
bear.
Just
Not-
bears.
Just bears.
Nondrasek says computer went out. Is Shaka dead?
No, he's doing fine.
Rude.
I tried my best.
Not yet.
So I think we already said these, but the cheers, we've got cheers. Nope, people are typing away. So cheers. We've got cheers from Cross A, Cracks on Forest, Anesthesia. I think that's how we said it last night. Holy and Nondrasek. Thank you guys so much. And a sub from Silent H.
Silent
Aw.
Age 7 up.
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you, guys.
Fantastic. So I would imagine at this point we're out of initiative since you are no longer attacking and I'm no longer attacking you. But this creature is sort of like dancing, like not really dancing, but he's hopping nervously from branch to branch and he's looking down at you guys and he keeps saying, oh, you gotta let him go. Come on now. He's real scared. He's real scared. Put out the fire. Come on, man. That's not very nice. That's not very nice at all. We were just trying to have a bit of fun.
Can I roll a sense motive on all of that smack he's talking?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
Just in case he's lying. Wait, what's sense motive on
Perception. Perception is your
perception?
sense motive. Yeah.
So 18.
18. He looks real nervous and scared and worried for his friend, but he doesn't appear to be trying to deceive you, really. He just looks really nervous.
So, if we let go of your friend, will you play nice music and only let people willingly want to dance and not force them to do it? Because that's how
Oh.
I do it.
We never force anybody to do anything. I think that's just a mischaracterization of what we do, right, Silly? And the creature in Khan Shaka's hand says, "Silly."
Sorry.
Amazing.
Khan will wave away the fire.
Okay, dismiss the spell.
Still not letting Silly go, though.
Okay. He seems to at least stop struggling now that the flame isn't imminent, so he calms down just a little bit. But you can tell he's a little uncomfortable. What do you guys do?
Oopsie looks to Fanrae, kind of lifts the ladders. What do ladder?
I'm sorry?
What doeth?
Save it for later?
Okay. He's kind of like tries to tuck it under his arm, I guess, and it's dragging behind him.
Can we look at the old man that's with them?
He's not. I know that I said the word old. He's not actually an old man. He's probably early 30s or late 20s. He's looking a lot better now that he's had a moment to rest.
Can we talk to him?
Sure. Yeah.
Were they being mean to you, or did you just willingly decided to dance?
Oh, well, the thing was, we had asked the little buggers for help at first, to help us find things in the woods, and they were, they were helping well enough at first, but then, I stayed back behind, and they asked if I wanted to hear some music, and the next thing I knew, I was up on top of that giant thing dancing, and I couldn't stop, and they were playing and laughing, and no, they weren't being very nice. I could tell it was them. I knew it. I felt like I couldn't stop no matter what I do, no matter what I did, no matter how tired I got. They just kept playing and making me dance.
You said.
To which point you can see like the creature up in the air says, don't listen to that one. He's telling you lies about us. He was all bored and mopey, and we livened it up. We thought it was a grand good time, right, Silly? At which point Silly says, Silly.
I just grip a little bit tighter, not to hurt him, just to let him know I still have him.
Silly.
You said we, but we in common means like more than you. So where others go?
Well, the little creatures, told us where we could, find some things, and he's looking over at Fanrae. So they went off to go check on the information that we got, and I stayed back to see if there was any more that they could tell us, to see if there was anything useful in the woods, since that's our job to find things that might be useful.
Yes. All right. Look. Whoever you are, and she's talking to Lee, and the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. That's hard to say, Jim. I don't know how you're doing it. And she's just like, look, you can't. I know you asked, but obviously you hurt him. You can't do that. If you do it again, I will be very angry. Just leave us be, please.
Well, okay. But, you're going to have to let my friend go.
Khan.
Where
and Fanrae looks at him like, she's saying Khan as in, you should let him go, but in her eyes you can see, just crush the little bug.
Khan points Silly at the other one. Where did you tell them to go?
Oh, let's see, there was... they were walking. I told them to walk through the forest until they saw the blue moss, and then there was the rainbow bridge. Silly, do you remember what I told the first one to go find? There was it was a treasure. Yes, we sent them off to find the treasure. See, we were being very helpful. There's treasure in the forest, and we told them right where to go, didn't we, Silly? Silly says, Silly.
Are there 7 LIs in that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to...
What language is Silly?
Do you say anything else other than your name?
Well, that's not very nice to go asking him if he can say anything else. You didn't really ask him if he wants to say anything else. Sometimes it's just fun to say it. Why don't you try?
Well, it's also not very nice to make people dance when they don't want to.
Well, I
Oopsie.
think I disagree. I think that he wanted to dance. Everybody wants to dance. I want to dance. And he starts dancing up on the thing.
Oops, he gets going again.
He knows that everybody should dance, right?
While you have the ladder underneath your arm, you're dancing.
Yep.
All right. You said follow till they found the blue moss. And where is this treasure?
Wait, no, it wasn't the blue moss, was it, Seely? And then Seely says, Seely. No, not the blue moss. That wasn't where it was. That was the place that we stayed yesterday for lunch. Oh, yes, it was quite tasty. I remember the blue moss. Yes. Yes, that's the stuff. You should go eat the blue moss. That's really fun. He's getting like on this tangent and starts getting distracted. And he starts talking to you all about what he had for lunch yesterday. And he just starts like just way off in the weeds. And he goes on for maybe a full minute. And by the end of it, you don't even know what he's talking about anymore. But there's some bird that had beautiful green feathers.
Ooh.
And it was their friend for about a week before it got eaten by a bigger bird that had nasty brown. Like this story just goes on and on.
Did
And you
he
realize like
come
he just is completely off topic.
Did
Was
he
that-
come down to the ground, or is he still hopping up?
No,
in
he's
the
still up in the trees. I assume that has Khan Shaka let go of Seely yet?
No, and produce flame is a cantrip. So as he continues to speak, he just slowly brings you closer. We can do this all day. Or you can stop messing with us and tell me what we want to know.
At which point, you see the creature up in the tree. He says, all this talking, I'm mighty thirsty. Does anybody want something to drink? I want something to drink. Let's have a drink, right? Let's all have a drink. Does anybody have anything to drink?
Pickle juice.
Ooh, that
I
sounds
have
like something I've never had before, and I love trying new things that I've never had before. Pickle. What's a pickle?
This.
Ooh. He like hops down off of the tree for the first time and flutters over to your shoulder and settles on it. He says, "Oh, bring me that pickle. I want to try a pickle. See, Lily, look at this. This is a pickle. Have you ever seen such a thing?"
Pickle's great. Pickle best.
While Oopsie's talking to him, can I try to sneak up behind him and I want to grab him?
Sure. So you can make a stealth check. Oopsie's got this pickle up, and he like the creature takes a bite of the pickle, and he's like, "Oh no, it's so terrible and sour." Oh, and then he takes another bite. Just, "Oh my goodness, it's still so bad. Oh, I hate it so much." And he takes a third bite. And what did you get, Rias?
14.
14.
He's distracted by pickles.
He is distracted by the pickle, but he does seem to be a very observant creature. And as you get within reach of him and start reaching out to grab him, he looks back really quick. He's like, "Oh, no, you don't, you big, scaly little..." And he hops over across. He actually hops up on top of the stone pillar. He says, "Oh, you're all tricky. Oh, I thought we were friends. I was sharing a pickle with you, and I was hating it, but I ate it. And it was, oh, now look at what you did. You're just like that nasty brown feather bird that came and ate our friend. Oh, I hate you all. I hate you all."
Well,
Wow.
I just looks at Fanrae. Shall I go at this point? I don't think they're going to tell us anything. And I'm starting to feel bad. And my hand's getting kind of hot, and holding this thing is kind of, my grip. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. But it's not the best. But I don't know. I could toss them into the ground, see like another fairy grows or something, and maybe that one will tell us.
hold that thought.
Okay.
Look, we'll leave you and your friend safe, and we'll leave you the pickle if you can tell us in under 10 seconds where you sent the other men, the rest of the party.
Make a diplomacy check.
Oh boy, I'm gonna use an edge.
Can I aid her in some way?
How would you like to aid her?
And I would probably say, and also, if you lie to us and we come back and see you in the forest threatening and playing your stupid music again, we will kill you.
Go ahead and make an intimidate check.
I'll use an edge. 15.
15. That is not going to give
Diplomacy.
Fanrae a bonus,
Oh.
but what did Fanrae get?
Diplomacy was 18.
18. Despite the fact that Peepa's words didn't seem to elicit anything more than the creature sort of like waggling his hands and sticking his tongue out at Peepa. He's like, yeah, I hate music. I do that. I have an armpit heart. Yeah. He does turn back to you and he says, all right. Look, if you'll let Silly go, I think I remembered where I sent. There's if you head through the forest down that path right there, that's where they went. You can go find them. We sent them after the treasure in the cave. Yes, that's what I remember. And they went, and that's where they are. So you just follow the trail.
Thank you. All right. Khan, you can let him go.
I see, Lily. He just
Silly Lee sort of like straightens up and flexes his wings a couple of times, and he looks at you and he's Silly Lee and hops off to stand next to his friend up on top of the pillar.
By the way, that edge I used was actually Sarah BC1 donated for edges for the table. So thank you, Sarah.
Thank
That was
you.
very helpful.
It was a good thing you did, because looking at my notes here, diplomacy DC 18, so you hit it right on the money thanks to Sarah.
Oh, thank you, Sarah.
Wow.
Both creatures are sort of looking at, like they look at each other, they whisper something to each other, they look at the rest of you and says, oh, well, I don't think any of these people appreciate good music anyway, so let's be off. And they both flutter off into the forest, leaving the clearing entirely.
Did they take their pickle shard?
You still have most of the bitten into pickle, I would
Just gonna
assume.
eat it after them. Eat a pickle. Pick up my ladder. Okay, Oopsie ready.
Does that ladder just last forever, or does it
Yeah,
have
it's a permanent ladder now.
Yes!
Just
Collapsible?
permanently have a 20.
Yes!
Just
Oh.
permanent wooden.
I think
Oh, that's
Oopsie and Peepa should just carry it above their heads.
oh
Or
my.
can I just sit on the back of it and you drag it?
I'm a goblin. 20 feet long.
I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is. Okay. I guess I kind of go check on the surveyor guys. Like,
Sure.
uh,
He seems to be doing a lot better now. He's again unharmed. They didn't. The two creatures didn't hurt him, other than obviously forcing him to dance atop the pillar via their strange musical magic. He's looking at you. It's actually a man that you recognize. I mean, he's one of the surveyors that you know is out here in the woods. You know that there are two others who are currently missing. And as you approach, he sort of nods. He says, "Yeah, the little thing is right. I remember that's the direction he sent. He said there was some kind of treasure off in the woods, and they went off to check on it. It's been a couple of hours, but then." While we were sitting here, I was trying to see if there's anything else they could tell us, any other useful things in the forest. And, well, they got it in their heads that it was time to have a party of some kind. And pretty soon they were playing music, and then everything just went to heck. Obviously, you arrived just in the nick of time. I don't think I could have stayed up there any longer. I thought I was about to die.
Oh.
I guess it's a good thing that we found you. I
Yeah,
hope you're
that emergency signal that you guys had set up was obviously a good idea. Miss Fanrae, she really knows what she's talking about. Really, really glad to be working for House Nethel. They're good people. They take care of us. I'm really glad she came herself even. Not a lot of people would have done that. They would have just sent some lackeys.
All
right. Good. All those things are details that you've given away. very quickly.
Oh,
How are you? Yeah, no. Are you okay, or do you want you come with us? Because we're going to go make sure the other two are okay, and which means we have to go deeper into the forest, which might be a bit more dangerous than it was here. And I don't know if you're okay to come with us to make sure that you're safe, or if you're safe to go back home.
I think that until I get some rest, I wouldn't be much use to you, and I'd probably just slow you down. I think I'll stay with the camp, watch over everything, make sure that it's okay, you know?
Okay. Don't listen to any music.
No, I'll try.
Except if it comes from me.
You know, I think the weird thing is, I don't think they really meant to hurt me. I don't even think they knew they were doing it. They just get so carried away, and you know, and at first they seemed so friendly and talkative, and I thought it would be a grand time, but you know, I think they just don't understand what they're doing most of the time, and they don't even. It's like they didn't even notice me dancing up there for a while. You know, they just kept playing because they thought it was fun to play. Those are strange creatures. I'd stay clear of them. Fae, man, they're weird and tricky.
Those were Fae?
They did look rather tasty, though.
Anybody who wants to sort of retroactively make a nature check can do that. I know that it might no longer be relevant to your immediate needs, but
I rolled a 20 plus
Whoa.
4, 24.
Nope.
yeah.
Roll the 1.
I'll do it too. Cool. 5.
Peepa, you're well aware that what you were just having, the encounter that you just faced, those were 2 Griggs. They are indeed Fae. They're very closely related to sprites. They're very similar, in fact, to the creatures that you faced when you were in the challenge. They're typically not cruel, but they're very, like, when the surveyor was saying makes a lot of sense. They're very tricky and mischievous. They especially like to play pranks on people who they feel have wronged them, who have embarrassed them. They tend to have jokes that go a little too far after that and end up causing some damage. But they're not typically cruel. They're not like evil little sprites, but they can certainly be a big pain.
I would say all of this to everyone.
Sure.
And then I would look at the men and the guy, and I would say, "Are there more in the forest of these guys?"
Not that we saw. I mean, they came, found us. They were attracted to the smell of the food, they said.
Okay. Hopefully that's the last.
Is it common for Fae to be in the Serota forest?
Make a nature check. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and carry over Peepa's check because she would know this. There have been reports of Fae in the forest, but they almost never interact with people. And they usually take great pains not to interact with people, so much so that there are lots of people who say that sightings aren't even real. Like, it's been long-standing debate whether there even are Fae in the forest because they don't interact with people. It is highly unusual for them to, you know, if they approached this camp, that's something like that's unheard of in the forest. Like, this is definitely strange that they would be that they would allow themselves to be seen and interact with people.
Before heading out of the camp area to go find where the other surveyors would be, Fanrae goes to Davius and like puts her hand on his shoulder and says, "Well, I am glad you are safe." And with her other hand, she'll pull out a couple of like silver for him and say, "And of course I'm here. I want to make sure you're all right. But do remember what we are paying you for." And I'll put the silver in his hands.
Absolutely, Miss Fanrae. Absolutely.
All right. Shall we go find the others?
Okay.
Yes.
Oopsie.
Yeah. Lift my ladder.
I'm gonna hop on the back of the ladder.
Oh my gosh.
Khan will grab the front of the ladder to kind of help Oopsie. You need some help, brother?
Yeah. Oopsie's like feet off the ground a little bit.
At this point, Davius is sort of, you You could leave the ladder here. I'll look after it if you don't want to carry it through the woods, but that's up to you. I mean, you're the heroes.
Fanrae said keep ladder. Keep the
Okay.
ladder.
Hey, she's the boss.
I mean, you can make your own decisions, Oopsie. If you'd like to leave it here, you may.
Glances around a little bit. And puts it back up against the pillar. Easy up, down.
Very smart.
Easy
Now.
up, down.
Let's be on our way.
Easy up, down. And you begin to follow the Grig's directions to track down the lost surveyors. Your route takes you through thick forest without paths or trails, and the going is rather difficult here. You can tell that you are getting deep into some undiscovered territory. Perhaps there is some strange undiscovered treasure out here. It is very clear that you are coming into the parts of the sort of forest where civilization has not dared yet go, and you wonder just what the Griggs have gotten your wayward workers into. You pause when you come within sight of a circular pit in the ground about 30 feet ahead of you. Even from a distance, you can tell that it has the even, rounded shape of something that was dug out with tools, and this is no natural sinkhole in the ground. What do you do?
If only had ladder.
Well, failure.
Fanrae will stealth over to the edge of the pit to take a look into it.
Make a stealth check.
14.
14. You get over to the edge of the pit, and you see that there is a woman lying down at the bottom, a woman that you recognize. There is dried blood on her face from a head wound. You think that she must be dead, but then, after just a moment, you see her chest rise ever so slightly. She is breathing, but perhaps not for long. What do you do?
Fanrae will turn back to the rest of the party and gesture wildly for them to come, and she'll pull out her rope and try to find something to tie it off on.
Sure, yeah, there's lots of tree trunks around that you can easily tie the rope onto. It takes you but a minute's work to get that done. What are the rest of you doing?
I was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
ask what's I would look over into the pit as well. I would
Sure.
See the woman.
The pit.
Okay.
I was gonna say the pit itself isn't very deep, maybe only 10 feet. What do you do?
Okay. I'm gonna cast stabilize on her.
Stabilize. You reach out with your magic, and
Swipe with my
indeed,
one finger.
she does appear to. The bleeding coming from her head stops after a moment, and she doesn't get any better. But you think that at least this will buy you some time to get down to her.
You said it's about 10 feet?
Yeah, 10 feet.
So Oopsie is an unbreakable goblin. Which means I take if I fall from a height, I take it as if it was less. So Oopsie would jump in to the pit. Yeah, Oopsie safe.
So Fanrae, you get this rope tied, and then Oopsie just belly flops into the pit, and just you hear this clunk on the ground below. But then he picks himself up and dusts himself off, and doesn't seem to be any worse for wear. What do the rest of you do?
Khan was going to do the same thing, actually.
You're just gonna jump down into the pit. Are you
Yes.
unbreakable as well?
No, but I have Cat's Grace or some crap like that. I have what's the feat? I have it. I gotta learn how to read these things. Yeah,
you're looking that up.
I have
Oh,
Catfall.
Okay, great. So you managed to get to the bottom. Like you're like getting this rope ready, and everybody is just leaping into the pit. Pipa and Rias, are you leaping? As well?
No, I'm gonna be next to Fanrae, but I want to look around the area to see if I see anyone, any movement or anything.
Make a perception check.
18 plus 6.
18 plus 6. Shaka and Oopsie go leaping into the pit. Fanrae is busy tying this rope. She gets done. She looks back into the pit, and she's just like, "Ugh, great, whatever." Rias is finishing up his spell, and he says, "Oh, she's safe. It's gonna be fine." But as you're looking up around the trees, you realize, as you think about the wound in her head, you realize that it's very unlikely that it's the fall that got her. No, something else happened. And as you're looking up into the trees, you see that some clumps of leaves are moving in a very familiar way, because you see 3 angry leshy begin to leap down from above and flutter towards the ground. And everybody roll initiative.
Wait, fleshy can fly? Can I fly one day?
Leaf fleshy do have the ability to glide. They have the ability to glide. I don't know if you get that ability based on what the rules are, but at least in the bestiary entry, they can glide.
Oh,
Jim, I'm going to take this opportunity to point out that Sarah BC1 just donated $75.
Yeah.
Oh, did she now?
On Oopsie.
Wild magic.
There's also a whole
Oopsie.
bunch of... Sorry.
Roll a d6.
D6.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so
A
excited.
2.
A 2.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, there is a massive burst of energy, and all of you feel weirdly disoriented, because you are now, all of you, each of you, in control of a different character. On your turn, on your turn, a character of your choice takes whatever 3 actions you decide. A character cannot be chosen more than once in a round, and you cannot choose your own character. The original player makes all rolls, and you cannot ask them about any part of their character sheet, only working off what you already know about them. If you declare an action that is impossible for them to take, you lose the action as if you had tried and failed. And with that, we'll be back in just a few moments, because I need a minute to process this. Let's take our mid-show break before we get into this absolutely insane battle that we're about to have.
I have the worst memory.
It is going to get so crazy.
Jim's getting us cross bones.
Oh.
This is Overwatch. Your verification is required.
Salutations. I am Mog. There is a blinking red light calling for me to push it.
Is this the Scourge again?
This is Mog of the Scourge, yes.
You all need to stop calling me. I'm losing my mind.
I have to leave you now. A hand is reaching through the system to try and kill me.
What in the packed world is happening over there?
They catch your eyes and rake your eyes. You are blind.
No!
For 4 days.
Yikes.
Or until healed with removed blindness or a successful heal check. You are currently blind for 4 days, Astrid.
Does the Goblin Chieftain look bloodied? Did we establish that?
If we were in a different system, in a different version of the system,
Who is this guy? What game is he playing? So do we know him?
I'm just saying, is there blood on him in a way that would determine a certain level of HP?
There is blood. You could next turn you could roll a heal check if you want.
Hey, Jared, as the producer of the show, next time let's not get just random fans to call in. Let's have some real players. Pathfinder.
Guys, I won the raffle. Okay, maybe just watch.
It was an experiment.
It was a
I
big
get it.
donation.
Next time we'll do it.
You know those old parachute games that we all played as kids, where you had like a ball and you're whipping it up like this.
Oh,
so
that's not what I
Detrian picks it up, and then Benzagak picks up the other side and just kind of like whips it over the top of Detrian. Detrian, roll an attack roll. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm making this up as I go. This is a carpet weapon.
15.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Yeah!
That's a hit, all three of them.
Oh, yes!
Roll 1d6. Wow.
Roll a d6. Okay.
Yeah, carpet
Everyone
damage.
knows carpets are way stronger than
Three
grenades.
smothering damage.
Yes.
Well, I gotta tell you, you actually put out one of these creatures.
Yes!
This one over in the corner. The two of your combined efforts smother one of these small elementals. What are you doing?
Preparing.
Preparing for what?
We've got to go out shopping and everything. And I have been telling you this chill is odd.
Kimmy, that's in a game. This is LA. It's 100 degrees outside.
I've been telling you for weeks, Ben, this cold is serious and unnatural and it can strike anyone.
That is a game. This is real life.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Fine. Let's go.
Warned you.
Better give me all your gold, I would have got you. You're making a big mistake, pal. Yeah, why's that? Because I control the power of the universe.
If the atmosphere at your table is less than impressive,
That doesn't normally happen.
you may find it hard to create those magic moments your players crave. Lucky for you, Sirenscape is available for download on your mobile device.
Doctor!
Now that's impressive.
First time! Every time.
Go to Sirenscape.com today to download your free trial and get the right sound for your tabletop games. And don't forget to check out Sirenscape in action every Friday night on Dragons and Things.
Shame on you.
Hey, everybody, we are back for the second half of our episode where things are about to get absolutely crazy because we've got one of the best wild magics active right now, thanks to Sarah BC1. Before we get into it, though, let's go ahead and take a minute and talk to the chat.
I have a really fun one that I saved. Whoa! Hi.
Oh, Lord.
It's Mrs. Evil Jim Jam.
Hello.
Looking evil.
She's getting into TikToks lately, so she does her makeup for TikToks.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
Awesome.
No,
Okay, I have a fun one. Penguin and Witch Doctor says Peepa and Oopsie carry around the ladder over their heads. Oopsie makes a siren noise and Peepa says, HEI on its way! But it wouldn't be like that. It'd be like, HEI on its way!
Oh.
Imp in my head saying, aim for Oopsie to break your fall.
Lucas Martinez was asking about the little Grig that was dancing. Is it a safety dance?
Oh.
It is not safe, but I appreciate the reference.
We just got a follow from PFS In, which I'm hoping stands for Pathfinder Society.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And you know what? We've got Lamar the con guy. Who's that dude? Gifting 10 subs. We've got Batman Saro now, Ghost in the Network, Scan You 101, Septic Llama, Sid Y, Nemesis, Meme Fesh, SF Giants 49er, Existing, and Krautig 22. All thanks to Lamar, the strange Lamar the con guy.
Wherever that
Guys,
I like to call him the Fire Druid.
And then there's also some other BBBBs given out too. Crossbones, via producer powers, given one to Khan.
Nemesis.
Nemesis TBD. I guess still hadn't said who to give it to. And Crossbones, of course, given that other one.
That's 2 rerolls for me. I bet I'm going to make good use of them in this combat.
Sarah BC1 just gifted a sub to you, Kimbleton.
Ooh, thanks, Sarah. Mwah! She's my favorite. Woo!
All right, friends. I think it's time to figure out this initiative situation. Did you all have rolls already?
Yes,
Yeah.
So, Fanrae, what are we looking at?
17.
Okay.
A little better than last time.
Peepa?
24.
Peepa, just top of the list, Peepa.
I'm on fire with initial rolls.
Rias?
14.
14 for Rias. Khan Shaka.
12.
12 for Khan. And Oopsie.
Also 14.
14 for Oopsie. Rias, what's your bonus?
Mine was a 4.
4 and Oopsie?
My perception bonus is a 3.
Okay, so that's going to put you after Rias.
Those are low.
Sorry. You don't perceive a lot.
I perceive better.
Peepa, you spot these creatures before they can they can cause any harm. But then there is a weird and wild disorienting sensation. Whose eyes do you see through? You have the pick of the group. Whose character do you currently control?
Oh my gosh, you know I have the worst memory ever. How far away are the creatures from all of us?
They're currently all above everybody because they're like just about to descend from the trees. So
I'm gonna control Khan Shaka. And
Khan Shaka. And what does he do? He's at the bottom of the, suddenly you open your eyes. You're at the bottom of a pit. There's a woman lying all nearly dead at your feet. What do you do?
I'm going to can I look up at the Leshy?
Sure, make a seek check, but Lamar has to roll it.
Oh, okay.
It's my dice.
Wrong person, but that's
Seek is perception, right?
yes.
That is correct.
Thank goodness. All right. 12.
Great.
12. Like you're at the bottom of the pit, you're looking around. You're Peepa. You know that there's creatures, but you can't spot them because you're at the bottom of this pit. You can't get a good view of anything. You don't see anything. You don't know where they are.
Okay, I'm going to heal this woman.
Okay, Khan Shaka, do you have the spell heal?
Like electricity and fire just kind of poof in your hands.
You try to summon the magic to heal, but Khan Shaka just doesn't have that ability, and the rest of your actions
I'm done.
are used up. So Khan Shaka's off the board, and it is one of the Leshy's turn now. Rather than glide down to the ground, it starts to glide over the pit, and as it passes over, it is going to spit this hard seed right at the back of Fanrae's head. Is Fanrae, you are flat-footed. You haven't noticed these creatures yet, but you're about to. That is a natural 20.
Oh no!
Rude.
Nat 20. And no, before you ask, I won't be using my reroll on that. Something smacks you right in the back of the head incredibly hard. And you first, you take 3 plus 5, 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
From
as this thing just,
seed.
yes, it's bad. It's not just like a little seed. I'm talking like almost like a rock, basically, that it spits at you. And it slams right into the back of your head. You didn't even know it was coming. And there is this tremendous boom when it hits you. And I need you to make a fortitude save.
Oh no.
Fortitude.
That I am going to sink.
Oh wait, I'm only taking
Never mind.
7 points of damage because I'm going to use my mercy.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Because of the wild magic, does that include a character's reactions?
No, because the original character would still be making the rolls anyway. And if oh wait, you want to use one of your own reactions?
Yeah.
Currently, nobody is in control of you.
Okay.
So no.
Got it.
So they couldn't use mine?
Pipa, your body is not reacting to anything. The only person's reactions who could be used right now are Kanshaka's.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Fortitude save is a 16.
16, and the DC is. Did you account for the sync?
15.
15. That's better because it was DC 16. That is a failure. You are deafened by the blast. Just for reference, deafened. You take a -2 penalty to perception checks that involve sound, blah, blah, blah. If you perform any action with the auditory trait, you must succeed on a DC 5 flat check or the action is lost. And you can't hear anything. So you know you just got blasted in the back of the head. You feel that pain. And then all of a sudden the pain drifts away. Whose do you take control of, Fanrae?
I'm going to take control of Oopsie.
Oopsies. You feel this momentary pain and then it all drifts away. Maybe something happened when you got hit in the back of the head. And now all of a sudden you're at the bottom of a pit. And you're much shorter than you used to be.
So
and you really want a pickle.
Yeah, pickles sound great. Oopsie, through Oopsie's eyes, I'll lean over and pick up this unconscious woman, like a sack of potatoes.
Yep.
And besides the rope, is there any other way out of this pit?
You could try, like the wall is rough enough that it wouldn't be a terribly difficult climb for somebody who is skilled, but the rope is definitely the easiest way.
Okay. Then carrying the woman, Oopsie's going to attempt to climb out of the pit.
Okay, very difficult to do with her on your back, but go ahead and, Jared, make an athletics check for Oopsie.
Athletics check. The 19 on the die plus 4. So 23. Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Michael Jordan, I would say that'll do it. You managed to get yourself at the end of your round, because you'd pick her up as one action, and then climbing up the rope one-handed would cost you 2 actions to do, but you are successful, and you get up to the top of the pit at the end of your round, at which point it is another one of the Leshy's turns. This one also begins gliding to the ground, and as it does, it spits one of these seed pods right down at Kanshaka.
Of course it does.
Kanshaka, that is going to be a 13 to hit.
Nope.
And you haven't noticed the creatures yet, this one yet, so your armor class is at a -2.
14, still miss.
Okay, so still a miss. So in that case, what I'm going to do is add an edge to make my attack roll a 14, and then I'm going to hit you with a seed pod. But it is a glancing blow. You take but 1 point of damage as the seed pod just clips you right across the shoulder. It does make a deafening boom, and I need you to make a fortitude save.
Fortitude. Oh, I'm not a bear yet, so this is not so good. That's 16. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, you are successful. You are not deafened. You shake it off real quick, and you, other than the 1 point of damage, you are unaffected. Then the Leshy glides the rest of the way to the ground. It is now on the ground. There are 2 Leshies on the ground. Those that are on the ground, you can now see. The third one, nobody has spotted except for Pipa. Next up, it is Rias. Rias, things are getting real wild, and then all of a sudden, whose eyes are you seeing through? Oopsie and Khan Shaka are both off the table, but any other character you can have control of.
Diana, odds or evens?
Odd.
Odd. I got an odd. I'm going with Pipa.
Pipa,
Don't
you are
cheat.
in control of Pipa.
Cheater.
You are now a Leshy,
You already know. You have a good memory.
made of leaves and vines.
Do your best.
I actually don't remember the stuff that you have. Nope.
Can you build her?
No, I built her. Thank you very much. I built her.
Oh, geez. I honestly don't know what you got. I'm
I'm so small. What do I do?
I know
one
you can
action.
play it. I know you can play a song with your armpit vines. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to play a performance piece.
You begin inspiring courage, and everybody is going to get a +1 bonus thanks to inspire courage. That's one action. You do have 2 more actions if you can think of anything else Pipa's good at.
Where was Pipa standing at when all this first happened?
She was up. She's still on the ground, so she's above. She's not in the pit. Through Pipa's eyes, you see 2 of these leafy creatures that look similar to Pipa, but they look mean and they're covered in like pine cone armor, and they have these spears in their hands, and their little beady eyes. They look around. And they've got these jagged little teeth, and they're looking around. These are not nice, Leshy.
I would look at one of them and be like, "Why would you do such a thing? That's very rude!" And I wanna gnash my teeth at them to try to intimidate one of them.
Okay. What language are you speaking?
Sylvan Leshy tree folk.
The
Do
question
have Sylvan.
I have then for Pipa is, Diana, does she know Sylvan?
I do. I have it written down.
Okay. In that case, make an intimidate check.
I promise. I'm not cheating. No.
I believe you.
I'm not looking at your sheet.
I'm going to intimidate. Where are you? 19.
19. It does appear that the Leshy understands you when you speak, and it looks over at you, and it looks a little like shocked and now uncertain, and it is frightened by your demeanor. Successful intimidate. Good job.
And is that second action?
Yep. 1 action to intimidate, 1 action to inspire courage.
Yeah. So playing and gnashing teeth, and then I just want to have Pipa stand like in a guarded stance as well too, make her look intimidating. Yeah,
All right, you take up an intimidating flare with your harp going, and that is the end of your action. So it is Oopsie's turn. Oopsie, you can control Rias or Fanrae.
I'm gonna control Fanrae.
Okay, you are now a tall and beautiful elf. What do you do?
There are 2 on the ground, correct?
2 on the ground. You feel this sudden, incredible, intense pain. You can't hear anything because Fanrae is deafened. But you turn around, your eyes are like swimming, and you can see there are 2 of these leafy creatures. Pipa is like giving a stern talking to one of them in a different language. What do you do?
First action, I'd like to draw my blade.
Okie dokie. Fanrae's got knives. I know that.
Second action, I want to get behind one of these Leshies.
Okay.
And third action, I want to make some salad. Just chop.
to make a chopped salad. So you get up to this leshy and begin chopping it. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Yeah, Jamie makes the attack roll. Forgot.
Ooh, that's 14.
14 total. Is not going to do it. This little thing's pine cone armor is shockingly tough, and you can't quite dig your knife through to get it. However,
armor.
That does take up all 3 of your actions, taking us to Khan Shaka's turn. The only body, you are just immediately shunted into this lizard folk's body, and you are Rias for the moment. What do you do?
First thing, I'm sad that I'm not a bear. 2, now I have to figure out what a sorcerer does in a new system. You know what? I'm going to move over to Oopsie.
Okay. Oopsie's up. He climbed out of the pit.
Oh, they're out.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can climb the rope to get to him, though.
No, I thought Oopsie came out with the woman out of the pit.
Yeah, they're both out of the pit. You are in the pit.
Rias?
No,
Rias
was
never in the pit.
That's right, because you cast you have range on stabilize. That's right. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you're at the top of the pit. So yeah, good, cool. You can go to Oopsie.
I'm going to. Yeah, that idea was to get help Oopsie out of the pit, but they're out of the pit. Don't worry about it.
They're like fireball.
I'm going to go to the one that's not being intimidated by.
Okay.
People. I'm going to reach out my hand, and I'm gonna try acid since I'm a lizard person.
Okay.
Splash them with acid.
Rias, do you have the spell Acid Splash?
The hand goes out and nope.
You try to summon the sorceress power within you, but you realize that it's just empty. That spell just does. You feel power, but none of it none of it bends to your will. And that takes us to the final Leshy's turn. The Leshy swoops down to the ground right near where Peepa is after she was so mean and intimidating. And rather than spitting as he goes by, he's going to glide down to the ground, and then he's going to take this spear and try to jab you with the spear.
That's rude.
Oh, but that is only a 2 on the die, so that's not going to do it. Lucky for me, though. Lucky for me. The fans know who to give rerolls to, so instead of accepting that 2, I'm going to reroll.
Gross.
Boo.
Oh, God, that's even worse. It's a 1 on the die. I went from a 2 to a 1.
Keep it stuck her tongue out at you, and you nat 1. You do have
That's
another
embarrassing.
one. Jen, you want to use it? You want to use it now? Go ahead and use it. I'll give you that quick.
So it comes swooping down to the ground, and it's got this long spear in its hand, and it tries to swoop in and stab Peepa, but it just misjudges its glide, and it jabs the spear into the ground, and it's all off balance now. It'll be flat-footed for the next round. And it is indeed the top of round 2. Peepa, who do you control this time?
All right. Is Oopsie close to the one that just failed?
Oopsie could get close to the one that just failed pretty easily.
I would like to go into Oopsie's body.
Okay.
Eyes.
Oopsie is still carrying this woman on his shoulder, but you are Oopsie.
I'm gonna place her down.
If you're gonna place her down, that's one action. If you just want to drop her, it's a free action.
Oopsie wouldn't understand, so I guess he would just drop her.
But it's
Oopsie
only
would drop her. You want to drop her
drop?
back into the pit?
No, not back in the pit. On the side.
She's dead.
No, on the side. On the side. No.
Okay. You just huck her off your shoulder as a
Yes.
free action.
Then I'm going to draw my weapon.
What weapon? Okay. What weapon does Oopsie have in his hand, Jared?
Well, he doesn't have anything right now, but he's got options. His go-to would be his glaive.
Great. I grabbed the glaive.
Okay. You've
And
got
then-
this glaive in your hands.
And I'm going to make my way towards the one.
You get right up next to the one that's near Peepa.
Can I hit this time?
You can.
This
In
round?
fact, since you used a free action to drop this lady, you used one action to draw, one action to move, you can now strike.
And then I would strike.
Okay, Jared, roll an attack for Oopsie with the glaive.
All right, +4 to this roll. I don't like that. I'm gonna use my reroll. Much better. Much better. 23 to hit, Jim.
That does it. That gets right through the pinecone armor. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
It's gonna be 1d8 + 1. For a total of 7 damage.
7 points of damage. This thing, you nearly chop it in half. But it has a weird leafy anatomy, so even though you would think this would be a much more brutal blow on flesh, you've definitely very severely hurt the creature, but it still looks like it's able to maintain its form, and it still looks like it's in the fight. That will take us now to one of the other Leshy's turn. The very first one that struck Fanrae, it has now gotten to the ground. It spit and smacked her in the back of the head last round, so this time it's just going to charge in with its long spear and try to stab her. No! That's probably going to do it, because that is a total of 21.
Yeah,
21
that'll do
Fanrae.
Now, because Oopsie has acted, can he use a reaction?
Now, because somebody is in control of Oopsie, somebody who is controlling Oopsie could use that reaction.
But they have to know what it is.
They do have to know that they can do that.
Shield. Saving shield.
That's not a thing. So you think you're like, I could stop this somehow, but you can't figure out how to summon the power.
What is happening? We're all gonna die.
Fanrae, you take 2 points of damage from the spear.
No.
And it tries to spear you again. That might have gotten you, even with the -5. So that is 15.
No.
Oh, fine. 15's not going to do it, so it tries to stab you again, but is unsuccessful. And now, Fanrae, it is your turn. Oopsie has been controlled, so he is the only one off the table currently.
Shaka.
Okay, Shaka, if I remember correctly, is still at the bottom of this pit.
Shaka's gonna climb out of the pit with the rope.
Okay, easy enough to do. Shaka, can you make an athletics check?
That is a 23.
Easy enough. You get to the top of the pit.
How many actions is that? Just one?
That's one action. One action to get to the top of the pit.
Then Shaka is gonna produce flame.
You summon the power of flames from within.
And chuck it at the closest one.
Chuck it at the closest one. That would probably be the one that's fighting Peepa. So go ahead and make a spell attack, Shaka.
Okay, that's oh Jesus! I should never attack with a weapon ever. That is an 18.
18 is a hit. You've done it.
Wait, we also. Oh no, you don't make.
What's the damage? I never actually used produce flame in a legitimate way. I had to roll for it. 1d4 plus my spellcasting modifier.
It's probably +4. So it's probably 1d4 +4.
Roll the axe.
What's your wisdom modifier?
My wisdom modifier is +4.
Yep, so it's 1d4 +4 fire damage.
1d4 +4.
Maximum damage!
Yes!
Oh, wow. 8 points of damage. And you notice that the leaves that this thing is composed of seem to catch especially easily. And it takes an additional 2 points of fire damage from its weakness and dies.
Yeah!
One hit wonder.
The murder druid lives!
So now, these kills, do they go to the character or the person controlling the character?
I don't know how you want to handle the tracking of kills. That's up for you guys to decide. Good choices, Fanrae. It would be my turn, but I'm dead, so it is Rias's turn. Rias.
So we got Peepa and
Peepa.
Fanrae.
Fanrae.
Fanrae. Yes, you could choose either one of them.
I think people last time. I'll go Fanrae this time. Still, is the Leshy she was fighting dead?
No, that one is still up.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna swing at it at least once.
Okay.
Go for it, Kat.
Jamie, that's an attack roll from you.
That is, I'm gonna re-roll it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that. Yep.
Much better. That's an 18.
Yeah. 18 is a hit.
You speak in Fanrae's voice too?
No, I haven't spoken yet.
Oh. Cool. That is 5 points of damage.
Okay.
5 points of damage. You just start making some salad, chopping leaves, pruning this creature down to nothing. It is still up. It looks very angry.
Hit it again.
All right, hit it again, Jamie.
But this is a -5, correct?
What weapon are you using?
My rapier.
Yeah, those aren't agile, so this is a -5.
Can I add? Okay. Can I add edges to it?
Sure. Why not?
I'm gonna add two edges.
15.
15 is a miss. This time, as you try to stab it with the rapier, it blocks you with the long spear.
Final one. I want to kick it.
A kick. Okay, make an unarmed attack, Fanrae.
How close is it to the pit? Is it close enough to the pit where I can try to kick it over the side?
I mean, you're looking at a -10 penalty. So if you manage to succeed, sure, it'll go over the pit.
Okay.
All right. That is a. I don't know what's gonna do it. 15 again.
15 again? Is that with the -10?
No, that's not. That's a 5.
Yeah. So that's, you try to kick it, but you're way off balance. These weird elf legs must be shaped differently. It doesn't work as well as you thought it would.
They bend differently. It's very awkward.
They have the weird reverse articulation. They're like birds. And
My knees bend backwards?
No, that's not true at all. It is Oopsie's turn. Oopsie, I believe that Rias and Peepa still have yet to go, so you can control either one.
And there are still 2 Leshies.
Still 2 Leshies. One just got stabbed by Fanrae, and the other one looks like it's doing okay.
I'm gonna gamble, and I'm gonna go with Peepa.
Okay, you are now Peepa. What does Peepa do?
You guys should sleep. And I want to try to cast sleep.
Does Peepa know the spell sleep? Nope. You try to summon the power deep from within you, but you can't do it. You lose 2 actions attempting to cast a spell you don't know. Action.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Oh, so funny.
Juice is sour.
Yeah, Jared, yeah, it is.
Yeah. I lost all my actions. That's it.
You have 1 action.
You have 1.
You have 1 action left. 2 action spell.
Oh, okay.
So you still do have 1 action.
Well, then she's got her arm harp. So
Yep.
I guess I would inspire courage again.
Inspire courage for your 3rd action, giving everybody that +1 bonus. Khan Shaka. Looks like this time, Urias.
Okay.
You know he can't acid splash.
I punch it. I'm still kind.
You walk up to one of these creatures and make an unarmed attack. Do you want to walk up to the one that Fanrae is fighting?
Wait. Does Reese have a weapon? Like a sword or Reese? I will search to see if I have a weapon.
Okay, sure. I won't even have you roll a seek action. So you look around. What weapons does he see, Rias?
There is a heavy crossbow and a dagger.
I will take the dagger.
Okay.
I will walk up to the closest one.
Uh-huh.
I will shank it.
Okay. Shank away, my friend. I need Adam Khan to make an attack roll with Rias. with your dagger.
I mean, he's Khan. What would Khan do?
Yeah! That's pretty good. That's a 21.
That hits. You did it. Roll damage.
Yeah! Minimum damage. 2.
Nice.
2 points of damage.
Definitely shrank.
I'll mercy that down to 1 point of damage as you stab into the leshy with your dagger. Good times. That is the end of the round. Oh wait, no, that leshy is not dead. So that one that you just stabbed, like looks at you, and Khan Shaka, you see through Rias's eyes, it gives you this like confused and angry look, and then jabs you with the old spear. But that is only going to hit armor class 9. So I'm going to assume that misses.
Not gonna hit.
Not going to do it. So it will try. It will try one more time, but this time it's going to spit a seed pod at you. And that is going to hit armor class 13, Rias?
Nope.
No? Okay, so it just frustrates itself trying to get you, but it can't quite do it. Peepa. You have pick of the board again.
Okay. What if I, like, describe what element I use in a spell? Or do I have to know the exact almost name of the spell?
If you can give me a close approximation, I would allow it. But first you got to pick a body.
Okay. We'll go for Rias.
You are now a lizard folk. You have a dagger in your hand. You're staring at this creature right in front of you that you just stabbed.
Okay, dagger in the right, look at my left, and I cast Ice Bolt.
Do you know Ray of Frost?
I do not know Ray of Frost, but Chill Touch.
I don't know. It's tricky because it's the same element, but you did really seem to want to shoot something. Okay,
Because
you can have it. You
melee.
can have this one.
Yay!
You can have this one, Diana.
Thank you.
Tell me what is that? Just a save?
Living creature. Target attempts a basic fortitude save.
Fortitude save for this.
Fortitude.
Poor Leshy.
Fortitude.
And that is a 15.
A 15 is not gonna do it.
No.
Nope.
Fine.
15 is not gonna do it, so you are going to take oopsie, sorry. Oopsie, I did it. Where'd it go? Plus my spell casting modifier, you're gonna take 5 points of cold damage.
Nice.
5 points of cold damage. Yikes.
How many actions is that? 2?
That is 2.
So I have
for
1
chill
left.
touch.
I will
One action
try
left.
and stab it with my dagger.
Okay,
you roll.
because you used an attack spell, it has the attack trait. So this is as if you had made a second attack. So, but you have an agile weapon in your hand, so it's at a -4.
I'm gonna use my 2 edges and make
Okay.
it a -2.
Don't forget to give yourself the Peepa +1 for inspiring courage.
Oh yeah.
Inspiring courage.
Plus 1, so it's a -1.
Okay, great. Thank you for
Hiya!
Stab him.
That is going to be a dirty 20.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a hit.
And then
Rias is
next-
our most reliable striker.
Add a +1 to the
There we go. That's going to be max damage, so 6 points of stabby damage.
Yikes,
stab,
6
stab.
points of
I
stabby
hit
damage.
Reese has done more with a dagger than anything.
With the old 1-2 combo, you managed to fillet this thing down to just some vines and scattered leaves, and it is dead.
Yay!
And on plant violence.
There is but a single creature left. It is its turn. It is going to... I forget who he was fighting. I think it was Fanrae.
Yes.
So he was going to try to stab Fanrae. Maybe. With a 19 total.
Yeah, that hits.
That's going to do it. So you are going to take 5 points of piercing damage.
And Fanrae goes unconscious.
Yay!
Oh,
Hey, I got one. You
So
are
I'm at
dying.
Dying one. Okay. Wow.
Dying
I'm
one.
so glad I planned out who I was going to pick and exactly what they were going to do.
This creature, seeing the elf go down, looks around for another target, sees Peepa standing there, levels his spear, and just charges in and tries to stab her.
All right.
It's at the -5 though.
Okay.
That's probably not gonna do it with a that'd be an 8 to hit, so that's not gonna make a difference.
No.
So it comes charging in at Peepa, but its remaining 2 actions do nothing. Fanrae, it is your turn, but you are down and out. This is interesting. I don't know if it messes everything up if you don't take control of a body.
Her soul's gone.
I think you are just unconscious and dying.
Makes complete
Yeah.
sense.
Rias, it is your turn. You cannot take control of Fanrae, obviously.
Okay.
What do you do?
All right. Oh, there's Khan Shaka and there's Oopsie. I'll get Khan Shaka.
Okay. You are now a bear man.
Hey, I really like bears. Produce flame and flick it.
Produce flame and flick it. Make a spell attack, Khan Shaka.
15.
15 is a miss.
16. Wait. Is people singing?
Yes.
Yeah, you still have that until somebody else tells her to stop. Yes.
16.
16 is still a miss.
You have an edge.
Not if I have an edge.
Do you use your edge?
Only if 17 hits.
You have to tell me first if you use it, and then I will tell you what happens.
I will use it, Jim.
17 is a miss.
Oh!
You have a face, Jim.
Any other edges? Can we put
I don't
any
think
more?
Lamar has any more edges.
I don't have any more.
He's got a
Yes, do you want to use another one of your edges?
I'm going to use another one.
Okay, that brings us to an 18, which does hit.
There we go.
Woo, only by the power of God and animators.
Roll me that D4 plus 4 fire damage.
Max damage again.
Oh, jeez. And this thing just crumbles into a heap of ash and burning wood and vines. It is dead. You are all suddenly thrust back into your own bodies. However, I do need Fanrae to make a DC 11 flat check.
13 on the die.
You are stable, but unconscious and wounded 1.
Khan runs to Fanrae and casts stabilized creature.
Okay. Fanrae is stable, still unconscious.
I'm gonna come over to her and cast Soothe.
Soothe,
I'm gonna
okay.
pull it up real quick, sorry.
Is that a D?
If we had gone just one more turn, we would have broken Jim Jam's wild magic. Oopsie had to go, and the only person Oopsie could have chosen was Oopsie.
It would have caused a paradox. Oh no!
Would have broken it.
So, Soothe is a 1d10 plus 4 hit points, and then you get a +2 status bonus and saves against mental effects for the duration.
It's a good spell.
Yes. Ooh, good. 8 plus 4, 12.
Wow. You are feeling a lot better, Fanrae.
And that's from 0, right?
Yes, from 0. Yeah,
Okay.
there are no negative hit points. You are still no, and since it's magical healing, you get to shuck the wounded condition as well. So you are just at
sweet
12 hit points.
And I just kind of pat her with my leaves. Are you okay?
And as her eyes flutter open, all she can do is read comments. Let's take a moment to chat.
Imp in my head said confirmed. Jim has a face.
He has a face.
Fact.
Super
I'm in for life. Called Jim nearly as misleading as Ben.
What did I do that was misleading?
You goaded Lamar into using his.
Well, you know. gonna tell you before you spend the resources what it'll do. We have some cheers from Nondersec, Crossbones, and Sarah BC1. Thank you guys for them cheers.
Thank you. It's Lucas
Sorry.
It's Lucas Martinez is telling Jared, oops, he should have a pickle in his mouth like a cigar. Clint Eastwood style.
Imp in my head was saying, watch out for those gunslinger leshies. They have many pistols.
Oh wow.
It's a horticultural joke.
And from the channel.
Elite Trooper 348 has resubscribed for 25 months.
We have a new follow from Wolf's dad.
Ooh,
thank you.
Hello, welcome to the channel.
Dad of Wolves.
Thank you. And I guess the chat was discussing what type of pickles do you like, Jared? Do you like the zesty bread and butter, or is it like the salty dill?
I mean, I like most pickles, but I have a really salty dill pickle juice right now.
Yeah, I like
dill is
like
the only way to go.
Yes,
Dill pickles are good. I've had spicy dill pickles before, which are really good. I like spicy dill pickles.
I like
very good.
vinegar.
I like a bread and butter pickle now and again.
Night, Sarah.
Can't do it.
Just something about that sweetness.
Good night, Sarah.
Night, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thanks for that wild magic. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Crazy.
That was crazy.
Apparently, Silent H says we're all wrong with our pickle choice.
Yeah, he likes the zesty one. That's gross.
Nonsense. Nonsense, Silent H.
Yeah.
I'll say it. Don't care for pickles.
How
dare you?
How
Get off my stream, Lamar.
Does Fanrae look like she needs more healing?
No, Fanrae looks pretty good at this point.
Oh, really?
There is a person that does look like they could use some healing.
Oh, yes,
There's a bear guy's been getting his shit wrecked.
I would have walked over to the lady to see how she's doing.
Okay. She's still unconscious, but she is stable thanks to your efforts.
Can I just got the one. Can I pour some elixir of life into her mouth?
Yes, you can. That is, 1d6 plus 1?
1d6 plus 1, yeah.
Alrighty.
She gonna get back 3.
Okay. The elixir does its work quite quickly. You can see that the big, huge bleeding knot in her head, so the swelling goes down. She, after a moment, her eyes flutter open. She looks around. She sits bolt upright. She's like, "Oh my God!" Oh. But then she sees it's you all around, and she recognizes Fanrae and Khan Shaka, and she's like, "Oh, wow, you came. That's amazing. Thank you so much." Oh, we've met these weird little grasshopper men, and they told us there was a treasure out in the forest, and I guess they neglected to tell us. There was also these horrible little monsters, and I fell into the pit. I don't even know what happened after that. I saved my life.
Yes, glad that you're safe.
Yeah.
Are you okay to walk?
I think so. Yeah. And she sort of looks a little unsteady on her feet at first, but she's like, "No, I can get back to the camp. I know the way from here."
Hey, real quick, I know this is going to shock you. This is our friend Peepa on our side. Don't scream. Anyway, do you know where the other one went?
I blacked out. I don't know. I have no idea. I assumed that he ran. I know we were attacked, but when we were running and I fell into the pit, and he must have avoided it. If he's not here, who knows where he went? We were told to go and find the cave in the wall. Maybe he went there. I don't know.
What the pit for?
I don't know. Maybe those creatures dug it to trap people here. I didn't see it before I was in it.
Quick question.
Yes.
Does magical healing heal deafened condition?
After a minute, you would actually you're no longer deafened, so
Okay.
you're good. You're good now.
Eminency.
I didn't know.
Would the pine code armor fit Peepa?
I don't think so. There's nothing in here about salvaging the pinecone armor, so I really couldn't tell you.
I tried, Diana.
Plus, most of them were
Appreciate it.
burned, and the burning, like the ones that got burned, are just like ash and blackened wood. That's it. So.
Because of the fire hand.
Sorry. Fanrae again will like put her hand on this woman's shoulder and say, "I'm so glad we found you, but please be careful getting back to camp," and hand her a couple of silver pieces and say, "And remember what we are paying you for."
Well, yeah. No, I thank you so much. You saved my life. I'm just only sorry that I'm just sorry. Thank you. And she begins stumbling her way back to camp. And she says, "The cave in the wall. We were headed down this path here," and she points the way. So that's where we were headed. I don't know if that's where Stefan went, but I have to assume maybe he tried to go, and if there was a cave, maybe he tried to take shelter. I don't know. I was out.
Can I try to find sets of tracks, maybe?
Sure, make
Yeah,
a survival check. Anybody who wants to try to do that.
She goes to leave Jim. I'm going to cast guidance on her. Give her plus
16, 17.
Rolled a natural 20, making it a 27.
Whoa, yeah, you actually do find signs that her story checks out. You sort of like looking around the area, you can tell it looks like, these people were attacked. You can see them running. She fell into the pit. And where she's pointing, it takes you a little bit, but you do find signs that somebody had like struggled through some brush, must have been in a real hurry. And it looks like you could follow this path, which might take you right where you need to go.
I'm gonna tug on Fanrae's pants leg or whatever and say to her, "So you keep telling people to remember what you're paying them for. Can I know what you're paying them for? Because we're friends."
Of course. We sent a team out into the woods to survey it and make a map of it.
Oh, okay. Khan Shaka, did you need healing?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
a little
so-
damaged.
She would walk over to Khan Shaka and place her leafy hands on him and cast Soothe as well. Oop, wrong one. You're gonna take 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of healing.
Con feels great.
And then you get +2 against saves and mental effects. For the duration, which I'm not exactly sure how long. Oh, 1 minute.
It feels by the time we fight, but thank you very.
Yeah, no.
Yay, thank you, people.
1 minute and 1 second later, a creature with mental powers attacks you.
You would, Jim.
Can I look at the pit to try and figure out its purpose, or was it
Sure.
literally a pit trap?
It does look like you're looking at like a whole bunch of like scattered leaves. Judging by her description and the pit itself, you would guess that it must have been camouflaged, and perhaps that's exactly what it was here to do, was to catch people who were moving through the woods. These Leshy did not seem interested in having people here. Like they attacked, like Leshy aren't known to be evil and aggressive, but like these ones, they were defending this territory. They did not want people. And nobody's ever, like, there are no reports that you can think of people being attacked by Leshy in the woods. Something seems to almost have like stirred the forest up. Like there's like the things that are happening that you're seeing, like this wouldn't normally be the case. Like people can go into the Rhoda forest fairly safely. And again, you're in a pretty deep part of it where people typically don't go. But even still, like, you would think, especially with Pipa in tow, why wouldn't they even try to negotiate? They just seem so angry and ready to kill anybody who came in. It just doesn't make something's not clicking. Something's got everything on edge, and it's making it more dangerous here.
Out to the cave?
To the cave.
Can I gather up the Leshy spears? They're what,
Yeah.
like?
Each one is a long spear the spears deal 1d8 points of damage plus your strength modifier. They deal piercing damage. And there's 3 of them.
Nice.
Sure.
They're very interesting looking because whereas you're used to having like the smooth carved oiled polished wood for a spear haft, these look almost like they were living long straight branches that were just like plucked and used as spears. They're not crude. They're actually very, like, the design of them is very beautiful, but they look incredibly organic and but just as good as a castle forged weapon that you're used to.
And they're full-size spears from here. Would they be smaller because they were less sheath?
Yeah, they're just regular spears for you. Yeah.
We're gonna stealth and move ahead, Jim.
Moving ahead under Khan Shaka's direction, since he was the one who spotted those tracks, you continue on your way in search of the last of the surveyors. The terrain is becoming more hostile the deeper into the forest you go, and you are forced to climb over massive tangles of roots, cut your way across thick growth, and scuttle over broken, moss-covered rocks. Everybody needs to make a survival check as you navigate these treacherous paths.
Yeah.
17.
Okay.
Ooh.
16.
Okay.
16.
16 for Peepa.
10.
10 for Rias. What about Khan Shaka?
I roll natural 20.
Oh, natural 20. So it's actually Fanrae and Khan Shaka who are managing to, you pace yourselves, you conserve your energy, you find the best paths that you can, and you manage to navigate the forest fairly easily. You can tell, though, that all of your companions are having trouble keeping up. Now everybody who failed, which was everybody except for Khan Shaka and Fanrae, needs to make a fortitude save.
It's going to be using that edge.
I'm gonna, oh crap.
That's going to be important.
A
I'm
what?
gonna use my reroll.
Fortitude.
I'm gonna use all of my edges to get this to a 14.
Oh no.
And then preemptively have my mercy ready.
Yeah, I have my mercy ready.
16.
16. Okay, Rias, that is a pass. You managed not to become fatigued. However, Oopsie and Peepa, both of you are feeling incredibly winded by the time this cave you were told about comes into effect, and you are both fatigued. Fatigue-wade.
What does that do again? Gives me a -2.
Let's look that up real quick. So
-1 status penalty to AC and saving throws.
-1, you said?
Yep.
Yikes.
Could they use their mercies on that?
They can make a DC 10 flat check with a mercy to try to remove the fatigued condition.
I will try and do it.
I'm doing it.
Me too.
I wish I
11 or
had
higher
those
on the
edges.
die.
I don't have more edges.
I'm fatigued.
I'm fatigued.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
I have an 8. I rolled an 8. Okay,
Yikes, guys. Yeah, you can tell that your smaller companions are just, they had to exert themselves more to climb up over the rocks and navigate the thick roots and thickets, and they're both just, panting hard. But you do see ahead of you a high rock wall. There is a small opening in it, about 12 feet above the ground. It doesn't look like it would be too difficult to climb, but it's the only cave-like thing that you see.
Should have brought that ladder.
I'm buying 7 of those tokens next time.
Okay, everybody, I got some mana now.
Yeah! Oh, yay!
You go back and get the ladder.
You guys almost died walking up this mountain. I don't think you're going to go back, get the ladder, and carry it.
It says it's only 12 feet up.
Yep. The climb doesn't look difficult.
If Oopsie call Fanrae and Oopsie best climbers, climb up, drop rope.
Yeah.
Standard party tactics.
Yes. Peaks.
So who's making that first climb?
Climb up, drop rope. He'll get like a little running start and putter at it and charge.
All right.
Athletics, correct?
That's correct.
17.
17 does it. You managed to easily climb the 12 feet up into the cave. For you, it's rather comfortable. You can tell that your bigger companions might be a little stooped in this cave. It's very small.
Fanrae would probably follow up just to make sure he's not on his own.
Sure.
That is a dirty 20.
Yeah, easily. You guys are both up at the mouth of the cave. Again, Fanrae, you're a little bit hunched in the cave. It's a little small, but...
So you said athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics to climb.
Well, I have a -1. Let's see.
But I believe there's a rope now,
Yeah.
so that's actually going to make the DC a lot lower for you.
Okay. Okay. I rolled a 19.
Oh, yeah, easily. You managed to get up into the cave. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Jim, real quick, we have a new sub from Zangarang Live.
Ooh,
Hey!
yeah.
I know who Zangarang is.
Who's Zangarang?
It's Jen Zhang, I believe.
Oh, that's Jen Zhang.
Yeah. I haven't seen Jen Zhang in so long.
Hi, Jen.
I miss Jen Zhang.
What it is, Jen?
Nice.
Khan Shaka, why don't you go ahead and go? I shall be right behind.
I drop a rope, so it's easier.
Okay.
I had assumed the rope was already there for Peepa.
Okay. That's a 22.
Oh, yeah. You're up. And Rias, you're the only one left.
13.
Yep, you managed to get up thanks to that rope. It's an easy climb. You are now all in this cave.
What do the spears actually outside?
What you see, again, all of you except for Peepa and for Oopsie are sort of stooped, hunched over in this cave. It looks like it's dark inside. I don't know if anybody has dark vision.
I have light.
Okay.
I can cast light.
Okay, you cast light, and then you can see that this cave, it goes deeper. You can see that the floor is covered with pebbles. Lots of pebbles, and the walls are like covered in this like chalky stone dust. But other than that, you don't notice anything.
I'm gonna.
From where you
Can
are.
I grab a handful of pebbles and put them in my bag?
You can. Why don't you make a perception check while you do that?
Oh, I should have done that. 12.
12. Okay. You pick up a handful of pebbles and put them into your bag.
And then, when I cast light, I have to cast it on an object.
Sure. What object would you like to make glow?
Well, I feel like Fanrae would lead.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
Fanrae, what would you like me to illuminate?
You can illuminate a dagger in my hand.
Great. Cast light on her dagger.
Okay.
And I
It
go,
glows with a soft. What color is it?
It's never thought of that. It's a nice purple. Like my
A nice purple light shines from your dagger, illuminating the room. You can see there's pretty much one way to go, this windy little tunnel. It does get a little bit easier for the larger of you to stand deeper in. But what do you do? Where do you go?
Unless nothing changes, keep moving forward.
Okay, yeah, moving forward.
It's probably too cramped to use my glaive correctly. So I'll draw.
Yeah, the ceiling's pretty low, and everybody's sort of squeezed in there. So it is a little bit cramped. Although once you get a little deeper in, it's not as bad. But the glaive is still probably a little bit too big.
I'll draw a short sword and my shield.
Gotcha. And you begin making your way towards the back of the cave, crunching through this like carpet of pebbles. Sorry, where did everything go? There we go. The cave runs pretty deep, and soon you come upon a very strange sight. It is the statue of a man positioned on the ground with his arms raised up over his face as if he's warding off a blow. There are pockmarks all over the stonework, as if someone had been chiseling away pieces of the statue bit by bit. Fanrae and Khan Shaka, you recognize this statue as an incredibly lifelike, detailed artwork of one of the surveyors that you hired. And as you realize this, you hear a horrible, warbling cry like a sick and angry rooster. And you look, and in the purple light, you see a hideous amalgamation of bird and lizard come charging towards you with hate and malice in its eyes. And now it's time to roll initiative.
Oh, man.
Yay.
Gross.
Oh no.
Yeah,
This was
gross.
not in the plans. So you guys know that.
22 for Oopsie.
22 for Oopsie.
14 for Khan.
Khan Shaka's on a 14. Peepa?
7.
Peepa, what happened?
I know.
Wait, I got a 7 too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I have 5 though.
I have 6.
All right, so it'll be Fanrae after Peepa. Rias?
18.
18 for Rias. Finally, he got a good initiative, and Peepa got a bad one.
Yeah.
This creature, however, moves frighteningly fast. Even though it does this weird like slither and hump along, it moves frighteningly fast, and it seems to direct all of its rage right at Fanrae, since she is standing in the lead looking at this statue, and it just flies over to you, and it begins pecking at you with its beak.
Oh.
And that is going to be against your EC a 22.
Yeah.
Glimpse of Redemption.
Tell me about Glimpse of Redemption.
Glimpse of
that was
What's the
Redemption.
reaction?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Your foe hesitates under the weight of sin as visions of redemption play in their mind's eye. The
Okay.
foe must choose one of the following options. The ally is unharmed by the triggering damage, or the ally gains resistance to all damage against the triggering damage equal to 3. After the damage is applied, the enemy becomes enfeebled 2 until the end of its next turn.
Well, I will choose to forego the damage then, as for some reason this weird little creature rethinks its actions.
It's
It
a
deals
bad
no
boy.
damage. However, I don't believe that necessarily negates the other effect from its attack. You take no damage. However, I do need you to make a fortitude save.
Oh. That's a 10.
Oh, my friend, that is a critical failure.
Oh no!
No.
You start moving much more slowly as your limbs start to feel stiff and unresponsive, and your skin takes on this weird gray pallor. You are slowed too, and then it tries to peck at you a second time for its third action.
I only get one reaction per round, right?
At a -5, but with a natural 20.
Oh no!
Fudge,
Cool.
man.
Yep. Give me it.
So
Give
for
me the
damage, that is 0 plus 5. So 5 points of damage and another fortitude save from you.
Oh no. Okay. And I don't think I have anything left, right? No. Okay. Oh
No.
boy.
Yeah, we cleared this board.
I can't do anything for you.
How does a 19 do me?
You are slowed 3, which means that you are totally petrified.
What?
Oh
That's
my
what
God.
You guys watch in horror as Fanrae turns entirely to stone.
No.
And it is Oopsie's turn.
Oh my god.
Cool. How does shields work, Jim? Do I have to use an action to raise one?
You use your action to raise your shield, and then you get to apply it to your armor class for that round.
Okay. I will first action move into range to try to stab this creature. I will second action stab it.
Oh,
Try to
okay.
stab it with my short sword. 16 on the die plus 7, Jim. So 25.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
I'm gonna do 6 damage.
6 points of damage.
And then I'm going to raise my shield in front of myself.
And then you raise your shield as you cut into this thing. You can see that this creature already looks like it's covered in a couple recent wounds. You can see that it's had quite a few days. Perhaps that's one of the reasons it's so hateful and angry. But it is now Rias's turn.
I take my fingers, I stick my hand forward, and this blue beam comes flying out. Ray of Enfeeblement, Jim. I need a 42
Ray of Enfeeblement. That is only a 10.
Yeah! So, only a 10? Okay. Failure. The target becomes enfeebled 2.
Ooh. Enfeebled 2.
Mm-hmm. And then... Oh, jeez. And then I'm gonna pull out my my crossbow.
Okay, you pull out the crossbow after enfeebling this creature. Horrified by what you've seen, Khan Shaka, what do you do?
Khan Shaka's like, I like bears! He uses wild morph to grow out his claws.
Okay.
Charges at this thing.
Bear Claw and charge. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
That's 17 on the die, which is plus 5, which is 22.
22 hits.
So it's 1d6 plus 4 times. Doesn't matter. 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage as you just slash this thing's weird leathery bat wings. And it is Peepa's turn.
Can I roll a knowledge something on this bird?
Yes, you can. This would be Arcana or Nature.
I've got nature. It's in here. Hold on. Probably nothing. 7 plus 4 is nothing.
Yeah, thinking back, you cannot. You could take another action to attempt Arcana, but your knowledge of you've never heard of this in your studies of nature.
Well, since I have 2 actions left and I can cast Soothe from 30 feet, I'm going to go ahead and cast Soothe. That's my last Soothe, my last level 1 spell on Fanrae to get her up.
Okay, you cast the spell, and it just like fizzles. Nothing happens.
Why?
She's a stone statue.
Sorry.
There it is. There's the up bump.
Okay.
It is now the top of the next round, and it is this creature's turn. It sees Oopsie. It sees Khan Shaka. It is enfeebled and enraged, and it is going to try to peck at Oopsie.
Enfeebled 2, Jim.
I'm enfeebled 2.
What if it didn't, though?
It might not get you because of the enfeebled. That is a total of 16.
I'm at a 19 currently.
Okay, so it misses you with the first one. It tries to peck you a second time. Rolls even worse. And uses its third action to try to peck at you a third time, just wildly flailing. But it's in its rage, it's thrown off balance, and it just gets worse and worse with each attack, unable to connect with any of its 3 attacks. And that will take us to your turn, Oopsie.
Oopsie wants to scream, just goblin shriek at it. Yeah! Using my intimidating glare in an attempt to demoralize it without I take no penalty when a creature does not understand my language.
Well, it doesn't understand your language, but it doesn't matter. So go ahead and make your intimidation check.
It is going to be a 17 to intimidate.
And this thing is frightened 1 because it is looking at you. It seems totally off balance. It thought that it had the upper hand. It doesn't seem to when it threw itself at you, it didn't seem to even comprehend that it was outnumbered and outmatched. And now as it starts to realize these things in its little hateful lizard brain, it becomes a little frightened.
And then with my second action, I want to bring my sword, whip it around, and come down on it.
All right, come down upon it.
18 on the die.
Yes.
20.
Okay.
More than last time, whatever it was.
What is the total, just out of curiosity?
18 plus 7. So
Okay.
mathing. With that 25?
Not a critical hit. I was just checking with it. So, but yes, you definitely do hit.
1d6 plus 1 for a total of 4 damage.
Oof.
And my third action, defiantly raise my shield again.
Defiantly raising your shield, egging this thing on, just pressing the attack, hoping to overwhelm it. Rias.
Oh, it's my turn. I've got my crossbow out.
You sure do.
I'm gonna go ahead and load it. And then I'm just gonna again, as I'm cradling the crossbow, 2 fingers and just say forbiddance. And I'm gonna put that on Kanshaka and the birdie thing. So Kanshaka, you got that +1 to your AC saving throws against the enemy's attack spells and other effects.
This is probably the most like buff debuff combat I've ever seen.
So forbidding ward is 2 actions.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I loaded, cast, I'm done.
Gotcha. Kanshaka.
Kanshaka is finally going to be able to cast Magic Fang, which makes all my unarmed attacks +1 to damage.
Plus, it also gives you the striking ability, right?
Something like that. Yeah, there's so many things with Magic Fang. I've been looking this thing up the entire time. Okay, so it gives unarmed attack. Unarmed attacks shine with +1 striking unarmed attack, and gain 1 +1 item bonus to attack rolls, and increasing the number of damage dice to 2 if it was only
Yes. So if you hit, you get a +1 bonus to hit, and if you hit, you roll 2 damage dice. If you do.
If I hit.
So, yep.
What does striking do? Just
Striking, that gives you an extra, like a striking gives you an extra damage die on top of your normal damage die.
That's a 17 on the die, making it a 22.
Yeah, 22 is a hit.
Don't mess with Kanshaka.
Minimum damage for 5.
Is that with 2 damage dice?
4. Yeah, I rolled 1s on 2 6s.
Ooh, that's never good. However, it's still a strike. It's still damage. Peepa.
Okay, I'm going to take some of the pebbles that I collected, and
Okay.
I'm going to telekinetically throw them at the bird.
As you pull one of these pebbles out of your pouch, you look at it briefly and you notice that it's almost the perfect replica of like a squirrel paw. And then you flick it at this creature with your mind.
Squirrel paw. So that means it's soft and not gonna.
No, it's stone. It's made of stone. But it's almost like if you had a stone sculpture of a squirrel, and you broke the paw off.
Squirrels. Okay. I do it.
Roll your spell attack.
All right, it's already dead.
No, 7.
Does it count as a claw attack, Jim?
It's just a regular.
No, it's only 11. My
11.
last action-
Like horrified by the realization
Yeah.
that this thing is what it is. You just miss completely.
Yeah, then I'm just
And
gonna
that-
play. I'm gonna play my heart because I have 1 more action. Yeah.
All right, everybody's going to get a +1 bonus to attacks and damage rolls. It is this creature's turn. It is frightened. It is enfeebled. It is surrounded. It is going to just start lashing out wildly because that's all its hateful little lizard brain knows. It is going to strike once at Kanshaka and once at Oopsie, but it'll strike at Kanshaka first. Remember, you get a +1 bonus to your armor class because of the forbidding ward. with all of my horrible minuses, that is going to be nothing. No good at all. And then it'll just lash out wildly over at Oopsie. Oh my God, 2 3s in a row. I've got to re-roll that. That is nonsense. I have a re-roll. I refuse to accept 2 3s in a row. It is absolute horse pucky. Maybe with its minuses, that is an even dirty 20.
Yeah, I'm at a 19.
All right, so
but reaction, shield block.
Do you have that reaction?
Shield in place to ward off a blow. Prevents me from taking an amount of damage equal to the shield's hardness.
Okie dokie.
Could destroy the shield.
I deal no points of damage. So it doesn't matter.
Yes.
And I will say that shield block would probably then prevent this thing's ability because it's not even striking your flesh at all. So you are fine, and it is your turn.
Yes. I'm gonna come down again with my blade right as it pulls its face away from attacking me.
All right.
Ooh, probably not. 16 to hit.
That is a miss. This thing is not.
For me.
17 to hit.
17 is still a miss.
Okay. I will then, with lack of other things to do, I'll swing one more time.
Okay.
I like to call this crit fishing. 21.
That's a hit.
18
That'll
plus
do
3.
it. That does it.
For a total of, are you ready for this? 2 damage.
2 points of damage.
Minimum damage.
2 points.
And then again, I snap that shield.
It's shield up in place. Rias.
I got my crossbow loaded. I'm gonna take a shot first.
All right.
That's gonna miss with a 10. Jeez.
Trying not to hit your companions, trying not to interfere with what they're doing, and you overcorrect.
And then I'm going for 2 actions. I close my fingertips right next to each other, and this time a black crackling light shoots across, and I'm gonna hit this thing with harm, Jim.
Harm? That sounds mean.
Yeah, it is mean. You're gonna
Happens.
take 1d8 worth of negative damage.
And add +1 from me.
Is there a save at all?
It is gets a basic fortitude save. Yeah.
Basic fortitude save. So it tries to resist this with a 22.
With the 22, it will. So you will only take half.
Okay.
So 7 points of negative. Or no, I'm sorry. So 7.
Plus my 1.
It'll
No,
take
it is. Yeah.
4 of that then.
Yes. So half.
So it takes
negative energy.
4 points of negative energy damage as you just unleash the power of death into its body. Khan Shaka. This thing looks like it's growing feeble, but you know it's still incredibly dangerous after you saw what it did to Fanrae. What do you do?
I'm going to swing at it until it dies. First swing.
Respectable.
That is a 19 on the die, +5, plus
Yeah, okay, Khan
25
Shaka.
or some shit like that.
Yeah, that does it. You've been rolling hot this combat.
That's 6 plus 2. That's 8. Then I roll again. That's a -5, right?
Not to the damage.
No, but to the second roll.
Did you roll your damage dice twice? Did you?
No.
count
Yeah.
the strike?
So I rolled 6 plus 2. That's 8 for damage.
8 points. Oh, okay. So you did 8 points of damage, and now you're rolling. And no, because you your natural weapons are always considered agile, so it's -4 instead of -5.
Okay, so it's gonna be -2, which is 3. 16's gonna miss. Probably.
16 is a miss. This thing looks like it's so close to death. It can barely keep itself up, but it is still just lashing out, and it is Peepa's turn.
I'm gonna pull out my dagger, and I'm gonna use my telekinetic projectile and fling it at the bird.
Okay.
17 plus 7.
That'll do it, Peepa.
Oh my god, if I
That'll
kill the thing
do
with
it.
a dagger.
Flying
see.
dagger.
4 plus 5, 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Oopsie, this thing looks like it's just about to like lunge at you and bury its little beak in your thigh, and then this dagger comes whoop, and spears it right through the neck, and it like wobbles and then collapses to the side. It's flopping around for a good minute afterwards, like flopping and jerking its body, and it's like trying to get up, but it can't do it as it bleeds out. Yes?
Jim, I'm really sorry. Hold on. It's just 4 points of damage.
That was enough
+5
anyway.
to hit him with a melee.
Okay.
Jim's
I'm
like,
sorry.
I got poetic. It's enough.
I'm sorry.
Even though Diana is a dirty cheater who was banned from Pathfinder forever.
I'm telling you the truth right now.
There was still enough damage to kill it. It had 4 hit points left,
Okay,
so dealing 4 damage is enough to kill it.
Perfect.
And it dies. And you're all standing there, breathing heavily, wondering what you're gonna do now. Khan Shaka, you see that this statue looks exactly like Stefan, the man that you hired. One of the men that you hired with Fanrae, but Fanrae herself is now frozen as a statue. You realize what's happened. Anybody who has nature or arcana can make a check,
I'm gonna pick up
except
my
for
dagger.
Fanrae, who is a statue and can do nothing.
Picking up my dagger. Excellent.
Far too
that's
distraught. I rolled a natural 1.
I did too.
17 for Arcana.
18 for nature.
The only person who seems to have any clue what's happening is Oopsie. Somehow, Oopsie knows where nobody else does. You know that this horrible little monstrosity was a cockatrice. A cockatrice finds its victims, turns them into stone, and then slowly chips away at the statues, eating them piece by piece. That's what apparently had started to happen to this man and so many of the other creatures that found themselves the victim of this horrible monstrosity. However, you do know that there is one tiny shred of hope, because the day after a victim has been turned into stone, it gets the chance to recover. So long as the statue remains intact, there is a chance that Fanrae may be whole once again. And even this guy, even though he's got a couple of pockmarks where the cockatrice had tried to peck at him to death, he's still mostly intact, and he'll probably be okay as long as no other damage comes to the statue. But really, you have no other choice but to sit and wait, because there's no way you can carry those statues out of this tomb where they would otherwise remain. So what do you do?
I'm gonna dump out all my pebbles, FYI.
I would.
Squirrel paws.
Oopsie would go to the mouth of the cave
Mm-hmm.
and probably take a lot of those pebbles that are on the ground.
Yeah.
Get them as close and stack them up to make the surface more difficult to get into. And then he'd basically just plant with shield and short sword for the next 12 hours or whatever it is.
Sure. So you all make camp in the cockatrice's cave. It's relatively safe. Nothing else comes to bother you. Anything that lived in this area would know well to stay away from this cave. So no other creatures come to bother you. Even the most dangerous creatures in the forest wouldn't bother to come near a cockatrice's lair. The night passes after you camp, and the following morning, I need Fanrae to make what is very likely one of the most important saves of Dragons and Things history.
Can I
Fortitude,
can I give her
correct?
my mercy?
Fortitude save.
Fortitude.
So Jim, there is Nemesis has given a BBB, but it never got announced to who it was given to.
That's true. It does look like it's to be decided. So obviously that would have gone to me.
Oh.
And
Do you think maybe we can be nice and give it to
I think maybe that since we have the BBBBBB that was never assigned,
Thank you.
we can allow Fanrae
If she needs it.
that reroll if she fails.
Well, the first roll is an 18.
Okay.
18 total?
Yeah.
That is a failure.
Oof. Oof. Man.
Geez.
Oof.
Can I?
Can
Oh
she
man,
use that reroll?
can I cast guidance on the stone? I just walk up.
Cannot.
I
You can
can't.
use
I
the
can't
reroll.
Oh man.
Oh no! I think if I've metagamed just enough, I think I have to get an 18, 19, or 20
On the roll?
on the die.
Goodbye, JB.
It's only a...
Good vibes.
8
No!
total.
Jamie,
Oh.
no.
Say
8
8
total.
8 is a critical failure.
Jim, Jim,
You had the 18.
I have a reroll. I've never used it, and I will sacrifice a future reroll on this show if you let me give it to you.
You know what? I will allow you, Kanshaka, since we're at the end of our episode, and I don't want it to go to waste. Fanrae can roll one more time using your BBBBB.
Yes.
And I add the mercy on top of it.
Do you have a mercy?
I have a mercy on top of that. Yeah, I got
I don't
a
think
mercy.
now the mercy wouldn't do any good.
Oh, God. No!
Is that a 1? Did you roll a 1? You rolled a 1, didn't you?
The 2, so it's a 4 total. They
Oh.
just got worse. I started with a natural 16.
On a critical
Got a fan
failure,
race statue.
Fanrae is permanently turned to stone.
No!
There is no hope that she will ever recover. And as you all start to realize that perhaps you've lost one of your friends forever, some of you think back and you recall the last time that you dealt with magic like this. You remember taking a certain piece of cargo across Lake Cavalas to Stay Hill Village, where someone turned a statue into flesh. And you think perhaps, just maybe, there is some glimmer of hope for Fanrae, but that is a story for another day, because we have come to the end of our episode.
Jamie. Jamie.
Baba.
Wow.
But that's her friend.
What's her friend?
And the little purple flower is now stone too.
I would hug her legs and just cry.
God, you know how awkward this is going to be to tell her family? By the way, this one's your daughter.
Did we at least find the treasure, Jim?
Yes, actually, just real quick, because I don't want to forget the treasure. You do find in the cave. There are 5 smooth, shiny, glittering stones. And oopsie, since you had passed the check to identify the cockatrice, you know that these are known as cockatrice stones. They are very rare and valuable, and they sell for 3 gold scales apiece.
Sweet.
Can one of us hold the extra one for?
I got it.
She comes back.
I got it.
Is the other guy just permanent stone as well?
But you don't know. But he didn't recover.
I'm sad now. Thanks, Jim. Thank you.
It's okay. We can fix it.
Person of
Fix it.
interest. Fix?
I've got a solution. I know some halflings.
Oh, that was a fun episode, guys. I know that it turned out not the way you'd hoped, Jamie, but there is a glimmer of hope. We have established in our lore at least one person in the locality who we know can turn stone to flesh. So perhaps we'll see Fanrae again. Before we go, I wanted to check over in the chat, see what everybody's thinking about this.
Well, they think that Shaka should be level 8 so that he can cast Stone to Flesh.
Oh, you
Yes.
know what? That was one other thing that I forgot.
Oh, please say it.
It is, after all, the second time you have all come together and fought as a team. You've learned so much since you started these journeys that the next time you meet, you'll do it as level 2 adventurers.
Yeah! I can be a bear!
Thank you, Jim.
I can be a bear.
Level up, says Batman Zero. That's correct.
Ugh.
Okay.
Imp in my head does note that Fanrae will be level 1 because she was stoned before leveling up. That's correct. She never been- no, true. It is actually, at least in Pathfinder 1, they actually did specify that creatures, party members who die, still get their share of experience points so that they can essentially have a leveled up character. Or if they make a new character, they would still stay commensurate with the party. So even characters that get turned to stone or die do get their experience points for the combat.
Well, thank goodness, because
Curious, Jim, what was the save number?
It's a DC 20 save. It's a very difficult one for characters of your level. I knew that going into it, but I also knew that because there's this a glimmer of hope for those of you who may have failed, that I didn't need to. Making it hard wasn't too big of a deal because I knew that I wasn't automatically removing people from the board. Still, though, it's tough, and you'll definitely have to go on this journey to try to save her, because otherwise she is stone forever.
by the way, I looked up petrified just to like make sure I fully understood what was happening. As a statue, my stone self, I become an object with a bulk double normal bulk. So that's typically 12 for a petrified medium creature. So you guys are just like, I don't even know if y'all can carry 12 bulk.
It'd be tough. It'd be really, really hard.
I've got 6 bulk left. So
I'm sure that in better circumstances, you would probably be able to, between like 2 or 3 people, carry Fanrae as a group. But the problem is trying to get her out of the cave, because the cave at the entrance is so tight. And
well, I know
where a
20-foot ladder is.
That's true. You do have a 20-foot ladder at your disposal.
Accurate. It
All
in my
right,
head was saying
friends.
LOL for a second. I thought Oopsie was trying to put the squirrel back together. Double pieces.
No, the poor
Sad
squirrel was
squirrel.
one of the cockroach's former victims, as are many of the pebbles are just pieces of this creature left behind after it ate.
Creepy. It's creepy.
Creepy.
Now I'm also super curious about what on earth is happening in this forest.
That's true. Everything seems way more riled up than it usually is. I wonder what could have happened to piss off the creatures of the forest. I don't know, and perhaps we'll never know.
Oh. You guys.
Oh, Jim.
Oh, Jim. Well, all of you, thank you for playing. Thank all of the rest of you for watching. It's been a lot of fun, as always. We will be back next Friday for another episode of Dragons and Things Heroic Endeavors. But before that, of course, you can see me as a player, where Jamie will get her chance at vengeance when I play Skeslin in her Reign of Winter campaign on Crits and Giggles. And of course, Adam Kahn runs his show on Tuesdays. Jared runs his show on Wednesdays. You can see Diana like all across our channel. She's in a whole bunch of shows, so she'll be playing all the time. And then I don't know, we'll have to see when we can get Lamar back in here, but he's a busy guy, so he's got his other shows. Lamar, why don't you tell everybody what you're doing when you're not playing on this stream?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lamar, aka Lamar the Com Guy. You can find me all over Twitch under the same handle. I also have a link tree, so that's linktr.ee/Lamar the Com Guy. It has all my I'm on 4 different D&D streams, Pathfinder stream, 3 podcasts. Just go to that link tree, you'll find it all, or in my Twitter or Instagram.
Wow.
There is a lot of Lamar the Con Guy content out there, so that's awesome. We hope some of you will check that out.
Content.
That's right. You thought it was for convention, but little did you know.
It was for convention. It was.
All right, everybody. We will see you all across, hopefully tomorrow for Craig Stravaganza and for Things in Space. But if not, definitely back here next Friday for the next heroic endeavor, where we try to save Fanrae from becoming a statue forever. We will see you when we see you. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.
Bye, friends. Bye.